And, man, let's get this thing going. So let me get to a little bit of news you can use here. So a federal judge continues to weigh whether to dismiss corruption charges against embattled New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Judge Dale Ho, yeah, that's his name, Judge Ho. Judge Ho summoned Adams and federal prosecutors to court yesterday for a hearing in regard to the Justice Department's decision to drop charges against him. Judge said he wanted to review the situation before a decision. Critics of the mayor say there have been a quid pro quo here. Adams supporting the administration immigration policy for having charges dropped. With egg prices skyrocketing, an interesting assist coming to the U.S., Turkey is exporting 15,000 tons of eggs to the United States. Bird flu has apparently sent egg prices skyrocketing. Deliveries start this month, continue through July. According to Turkish egg officials, U.S. egg producers hope the imports will ease some of the price pressure. Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see. Well, it's a thing lately to take subway trains on joy rides in New York City. This time, a 15-year-old accused of trying to take a ride in the Bronx, not once but twice. The kid's being charged with reckless endangerment and trespassing for the latest attempted trip. Police say a crew noticed the teen enter a conductor's cab on a number 2 train and stopped him before taking off. Police said he's one of 6 charged with driving a train in Brooklyn back in January. So just, taking the old subway down the track just for fun. I mean, it does seem like it would be fun to do. Let's see. Federal authorities have busted what they say is a criminal ring breaking into the homes of prominent pro athletes. The U.S. Attorney's Office said the 7 men from Chile were members of a South American group that burglarized homes of professional sports players in Kansas City, Tampa, Memphis, and Cincinnati from October through December. An indictment said the suspects stole more than $2 million worth of valuables. Each suspect faced up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Travis Kelce, all 3 were victims of that. Let's see what else is going on here that you might need to know. Okay. Oh, no, I want to talk about that later. Let me save that. President Trump is thinking about a new plan to give Americans some money saved by the Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. The idea, called the Doge dividend, would return 20% of the government savings to taxpayers. If Doge reaches its goal of saving $2 trillion, each taxpayer would get about $5,000. Experts say the plan needs approval from Congress. Some lawmakers might prefer to use the money to reduce national debt or for other programs. So, yeah, that probably would be a little bit of an argument going on there to send that $5,000 to everyone in America. I don't know. I don't know if that's a great idea or not a great idea. I have to think about that one a little bit. I mean, not that I'd be mad to get $5,000. $5,000's great. Passengers who were on board when Delta Airlines Flight 4819 crash-landed at Toronto Pearson International Airport have been offered $30,000 each as a goodwill gesture. Now, what you have to understand is this plane went completely upside down and landed that way over the runway, burst into flames. The airline said the payment comes with no strings and doesn't affect rights, which would presumably include the right to sue them. The widow of Casey Carlton, he was a dad of 3 who died in the January 29th collision between an airliner and a military helicopter near Washington, has filed claims totaling $250 million against the FAA and the Army. The claims of negligence on the part of both agencies are the first step in a possible filing of a lawsuit. The latest air accident happened yesterday when 2 people confirmed dead after 2 small planes collided mid-air in Arizona at the Marana Regional Airport. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm not getting on a plane for anything right now. I don't give a damn what reason it is. If you told me I won $1 million and had to get to L.A., I'd drive. All right, let's look at some of this other news here. The Trump administration has halted New York City's congestion pricing program that started January 5th. Now, this program charges $9 to drivers that enter Manhattan below 60th Street during peak hours. It aimed to reduce traffic and fund mass transit improvements, but the U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy criticized the toll as unfair to working class Americans and small business owners, said it's imposed a financial burden without providing free highway alternatives. In response, the MTA filed a lawsuit to maintain the program, emphasizing its benefits and easing traffic congestion. Yeah, no, $9 a day, man? Are you serious? $9 a day just to enter so you can go to work? So you can pay taxes on what you earn? Are you serious right now? That's a rip job. It's absolutely ridiculous. How many of you would stop and pay $9 on the way to work every single day? I mean, add that up. What's 9 times 20 is $180 a month minimum, a couple $100. No doubt about that. That's outrageous. I don't care. They need to come up with a better solution than that. Because it certainly disadvantages, the least economically stable of people. I mean, look, what if you just got a job? You're just trying to get there. It's already hard enough to live in that area. I mean, the rent's out of control. House prices are out of control. Crime's out of control. And you can charge somebody $9 to get to work? That's bullshit, honestly. I mean, it really is. Bullshit? Yep. Bullshit. Pope Francis continues his treatment for double pneumonia in Rome. Some good news. Blood tests showed a slight improvement in his health. The Vatican reports he remains in stable condition, is in good spirits. He's been able to read papers, work with close collaborators. The Italian prime minister visited him yesterday, said he was alert, responsive, maintained a good sense of humor. I'm not sure what kind of sense of humor the Pope has, but okay, I'll buy that. Trump administration cutting over 6,000 IRS employees this week as part of the government downsizing effort. These workers, mostly in tax enforcement, will receive termination notices today. Ah, my friend. Hey. What is up, my brother?
What's
How
up,
are you,
man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Rich is in the house, y'all.
You get set up here.
Now you take your time, man. The administration says the cuts are going to save money, reduce waste, but critics argue they could hurt tax collection and increase fraud. The IRS layoffs are part of a larger plan affecting multiple agencies, NASA, CDC, FDIC. Yeah, I think they just hired a ridiculous amount of people in the IRS recently, or at least that was their goal. I don't know how many of the 80,000 they were planning to hire they did, but 6,000 doesn't sound like that big of a number. And to be honest, do I want more people enforcing tax laws? I don't know. I think we need to reduce taxes, especially based on the stuff I've been hearing lately. All right. Hundreds of federal employees, supporters gathered outside the Department of Health and Human Services in D.C. yesterday. They are protesting mass layoffs. These terminations also part of what the administration is doing. A lot of people out there protesting, lawmakers making comments, things like that. Look, nobody wants to lose a job. I don't know anybody who wakes up typically planning to lose a job. Every once in a while you get somebody who's ready to tell you to suck it, and they make a big fanfare of it. But most of us would like to keep our jobs, But I've worked for companies where I got laid off. Hell, I worked for a company for 5 years, one of the best jobs I ever had. Liked it a lot. Would have stayed there. But they cut 120 of 122 people, took 2 of them to Delaware, and the rest of us got severance. And that was that. That was the end of it. So what am I supposed to do, go out and protest that? No, I went and got another damn job. That's what people do. You go get a job. I'm sorry you lost your government job. I know they're cushy. They're nice. I get it. It sucks.
Welcome to slumming it up with the rest of us.
Right. Yeah, well, that's just part of life, man. I mean, sorry about that. Sorry you won't be able to, audit me some more.
Right.
I'm not sorry, to be honest with you. Let's talk about something good. Julian Hernandez, his 12-year-old son, got lost hiking in Utah's Red Mountain Trail area, managed to survive the night after somehow, in their walking, discovered a fully stocked backpack with food, water, and emergency supplies. The backpack had been left behind weeks earlier by a 15-year-old kid named Levi Dittman. He was rescued from the same trail in January. After he returned the bag to authorities, Levi and his mom retrieved it. Gretchen Dittman called the situation a miracle and part of a larger plan to help someone in need. Well, that is a miracle. I mean, the dude was rescued, left his backpack there. It was loaded with supplies, and then you guys are stuck out there and find it.
Right?
Man, that's a blessing right there. I mean, wow, that's lucky. All right, a New Jersey utility worker being praised for saving a young girl and her mom from a pit bull attack in Newark, New Jersey. Service tech Paul Manzi used a large umbrella to distract and shield the mom and daughter from the dog, allowing them to escape behind a fence. After the attack, he called 911. Both of them suffered injuries in the incident, and he later said he hopes they're recovering well. Well, chances are he saved their lives. I mean, we've seen, unfortunately, bad dogs like that who will maul someone to death. So good for him. Speaking of dogs, a rescue dog named Jagger being praised for helping save an unconscious man found in a snowy backyard in Wisconsin. While on a walk with his owner, his persistent barking led to the discovery of a man who was suffering from frostbite but survived thanks to this. The pup's heroism inspired the owner to make a donation to the Humane Society, and they hope his story will inspire others to support shelters and adopt pets in need. Yeah, dogs are all right, man.
All right. A lot better than cats, man.
Yeah. How was the drive, by the way?
Man, from Jacksonville area.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just, hey, how's the drive, Rich?
Here.
And then shut my mic off.
Yeah, there we go. Now try it.
No, it wasn't bad. Surface roads are still absolute treacherous and hell out that way, but once we got on the main highways, man, it was pretty smooth sailing. You know, I took it easy because we know my history with hitting people and things. So
you probably need to stop way ahead of time. But no, I didn't have my driveway was the iciest thing I dealt with. Mostly between my house and Benton and here, there was nothing. Now our road had a couple little patches on it.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it seems like your side roads and you know, like I know we're kind of in a warehouse area, but those are still need to be definitely have some attention paid to them.
Well,
but
I wouldn't just go drive like I normally do and just watch it, and you know, you might find yourself in a bind. But if you just take it easy.
Take it easy. You know, be smart about it. You'll be fine. You'll get to where you need to go. So
and I would imagine by midday, most everything should be gone, shouldn't it?
I would think so. I mean, that sun came out yesterday and started melting it. Right away.
Immediately, because
which I needed because my doors were frozen to my house.
Really well.
Yeah,
I remember I woke up and went outside and looked yesterday. Just to see, maybe I could come in, right? And I came right back to bed because it was covered. The roads were covered, everything was covered. But by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock yesterday, all the roads in front of my house were clear.
Well, and to be honest, when you text this morning and said, "Hey, I'm on my way," and I was like, "All right, well, I'll get ready and start heading that way myself." I wasn't even expecting that because everybody was saying that everything that unfroze was going to refreeze over and it'd be black ice everywhere.
No, my wife was like, "Why are you going? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Because the road should be clear." And she goes, "No, they're not. They're just going to refreeze. It's bad out there." And I'm like, "No, I don't think it's as post-apocalyptic as you think." And lo and behold, here we are, so.
You were talking about that. I've been reading about that $5,000 thing they're talking about and throwing around just a couple minutes ago with the Doge. Yeah, the Doge. I can't.
It's Doge, yeah.
Every time they come out and say it, it reminds me of that. Wasn't there a Bitcoin called Dog or something?
Doge, same thing.
Is it?
Basically, I mean, he's. I don't know if he created that or if he's just affiliated with Doge.
Okay, but
so they used that for the name of the.
That makes sense.
You see
now it clicks.
Little marketing branding tie in right there. I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, it just seems to be.
Man, I know it's in the early stages, and I know it basically all happened from a tweet. Apparently, somebody came out and then Elon saw it and was like, "Hey, I'll talk to the president." And now everybody's going crazy with it.
Well, I mean, it's an idea that somebody floated out. That's all it is. There's no saying it's going to happen. Don't know if it's going to happen. Look, there's a long way to go. But look, if they save $2 trillion, I mean, whatever you think, man.
And y'all get right.
I'm open to it. I mean, it's because every day I just keep hearing about more ridiculous things.
I mean, the thing to me is of course, I'm not going to refuse and be like, "Oh, I don't need $5,000. Y'all keep it. You're the government. You know what you're doing with it."
Right.
Yeah, that's not going to come out of my mouth. But on the other hand, I do remember all the fun stuff with the stimulus packages.
Well, right. We don't want to be in that same boat because if we're being honest here,
I mean, we had to pay all that back with your taxes.
The stimulus package is what caused the inflation.
Right.
I mean, it's point blank. I mean, they put so much free money out there and just flooded the floor with it, and then half of it was fraud.
Right.
And it just killed. It just, between that and people not going to work, it just fractured the economy.
Yeah.
But if you're returning all that money, I mean, the thing I saw yesterday that I was most excited about, and again, I asked, please tell me, give me the argument against it. I'll listen. I swear to God, I will. But they said yesterday what they want to do is get all the costs cut and make it to where every taxpayer can see where the money's going.
Right.
Just make it transparent so you can look on there and see this is where and who the money's going to.
Right.
And I think as a taxpayer, that's not an unfair thing to ask.
I don't think so. Absolutely not.
Now, look, I get national security. Some things you have to keep on the DL. That's part of it, But I think we got to have a limit of what that number that's secret is. Whatever that secret national debt number is. I mean, you can't hide everything.
Can we get like a monthly newsletter or something, by email? Here's where your taxes are.
Well, I mean, it seems like a good idea, doesn't it?
I get a quarterly, 401k report.
Look, if we limit all of these things, there won't be a billion things taxes are going for, And maybe we'd be able to look. All right, so let's talk about some entertainment in your life. The first trailer for Cheech and Chong's last movie is out. It's it's part road comedy, part documentary. The film covers the career and current state of the legendary comedy duo Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. It's going to release April 20th before going nationwide April 25th. So I don't know if you're interested in that. Back in the day, in the late 70s, early 80s, Cheech and Chong were huge.
I mean,
they were as big of comedy stars as anybody could be. They were, honestly, they were almost like the Kevin Harts of their day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were in movies, they were on commercials, they were in albums, they had...
I still remember lines from the movies.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember the one, I think it was called Nice Dreams, and it had Stacy Keach in it.
Oh,
He turned into a lizard. Pretty funny. It is a pretty funny movie. I think that's the one where they had the ice cream truck made of marijuana, but they didn't know it was. They were looking for weed and couldn't find any, and they were driving it. Never mind.
I just remember when he's like, "Where's my license? It's not on the back of the car, man."
No, that's I think the same movie where
Up in Smoke or something.
Yeah, Tommy's driving and Cheech is in the passenger seat, and they get pulled over, and he eats everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tommy says, "Man, you just ate more acid than I've seen anybody." It was great, man. Or one time where you see them and it looks like they're driving, the car is completely smoked out. And John says, "How am I driving?" And says, "I think we're pulled over." Typical weed humor.
Oh, yeah.
It's just silly shit.
Speaking about that, though, I don't know if you I saw just on Tuesday, it came across my Facebook, and I'm sure you're probably going to talk about it, but at the Looney Bin on Sunday, February 23rd, they're having, like, a comedy weed event.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like stand-up.
It says
stand-up comics tell you jokes, then we get them super high.
Oh, wow.
And then they tell you more.
Okay.
So I'm going to go check it out, man.
Well,
I was talking to Carrie about
it.
What
day is it?
It's Sunday the 23rd at 7 p.m., $25 general admission at the Looney Bin. It's called The Gateway Show.
The Gateway Show. That's
Yeah.
funny. That's good. That's clever. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good marketing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next movie, Will Smith turns into a franchise, could start with a sequel to his 2008 film Hancock. Not the most notable film. The film revolved around Hancock, played by Smith. He's a amnesiac, alcoholic, reckless superhero trying to remember his past. Seems odd that 20 years later, that's the sequel he wants to make. During a surprise on a Twitch stream, he told fans he's been bouncing around in his mind. He said, "There's a really cool Hancock 2 idea. I'm giving you one little piece." Zendaya is being approached for a role in Hancock 2. Not only Smith, but director Peter Berg and original co-star Charlize. Oh, damn! Sorry, man. Whoa, I don't know what that was.
Did you master reset?
Oh man, I think so. Anyway, said director Peter Berg, original co-star Charlize Theron, Jason Bateman, Eddie Marsan have all said at some point they would be game for a sequel.
I mean, I'd watch it. The first one, it wasn't a horrible movie,
No, it was
but
fine. It was fine. Which would you rather see, a sequel to that or Hit?
I was just thinking about that. I think you should make a sequel to Hitch, but
Hitch,
for online dating and current,
kind of modernize it.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked Hitch a lot. That's a pretty funny movie.
That was a funny movie, man. That was. I just remember the part where he slaps. What is it? Kevin James, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he slaps Kevin James across the face
Yeah,
when he's trying to dance.
yeah.
Don't ever do that again.
Ever.
It's the Q-tip.
Yeah, the Q-tip. Yeah, no, that is funny. With Daredevil Born Again bringing Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock back, Marvel Studios' Brad Winderbaum gave an update on the rest of the Defenders in a new interview with Entertainment Weekly. He revealed Marvel is very much exploring the return of Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones, Mike Coulter's Luke Cage, and Finn Jones' Iron Fist. Said, I can't say much, but I'll tell you that it's so exciting to be able to play that in that sandbox. He said Ritter made it clear she's on board if Marvel makes the call. So, yeah, I liked all of that from Netflix. Now, a lot of people didn't like Iron Fist. I thought it was not the best one, that's for sure, but I didn't hate it as much as some did. But I do think it's interesting that they're talking about bringing them back, and I think it'll have a lot to do with how successful Daredevil Born Again is. But I have every reason to believe that's going to do well because, they're bringing back the main people, and Vincent D'Onofrio is phenomenal, and Charlie Cox is great in the role. So I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Doggy says Hancock was Smith's best movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon says he likes I Am Legend. That's one movie I've never been able to make it through.
No.
I Am Legend.
Too slow for you?
I guess, yeah. I don't know what it is. I've tried to watch it, and I can make it like it's just the movie that's my lullaby, man. I'll watch about 10 minutes of it and be out.
He said which movie was his best, Hancock?
Hancock is Little Dog. Yeah, Hancock says, or Little Doggy says Hancock was Smith's best movie.
I would say Independence Day, but I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably so. That's probably my favorite one with Will Smith, but I'm not sure.
I think my absolute favorite one was The Pursuit of Happiness.
That's a great film.
Dude, that was a
really
great story,
That's
great
based on a
drama.
true story.
Yeah, man, yeah. I loved that
It's
movie.
a little more serious take for him.
I mean, which I enjoyed for
Yeah,
him.
no, I did too. So was, what was it called, 7 Pounds?
Yeah, that was a
another
good one,
that
too.
was pretty dark with
Yeah.
him in it, but it was really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both great films. Let's see. Okay, here you go. Probably some of you are going to love this, and a percentage of you will hate it because you hate everything. January's fatal collision between an American Airlines jet and a military helicopter served as a wake-up call to the overextended nature of air traffic control. With that, it could be SpaceX to the rescue. On Monday, a team from SpaceX, at the request of Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, toured the FAA Air Traffic Control Command Center. The tour is to help SpaceX ascertain what current controllers like and dislike about their tools and envision how we can make a new, better, modern, safer system. Hate on that for me.
Elon is just everywhere, man.
I mean, how do you?
He needs a cape at this point. I really think so.
I mean, man.
We'll just put a big cape on him with
Look,
the E and
I mean, look, if you can overhaul the FAA, I mean, look, SpaceX pretty much qualified, I'd say.
Maybe we can get him Eminem's, outfit from the Without Me video.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
No, I mean, he's into everything. I think it's, hey, he's doing it right, so why not look at it? Obviously, air traffic controllers need to be,
Something needs to happen. I mean, we're having a lot of issues, so I mean, yeah.
And it's a well-paying job. It's a high-stress job. It's something. It was on my career radar for a while. As like a kid, that was my dream. I wanted to be an air traffic controller.
Really?
That's why I started working at Detroit Metro Airport, because I was always raised with look, if you have an idea in your mind of a career that you want to do,
Yeah.
even if you can't do that career
Start
right now,
somewhere in that path.
right, get your foot in the door, start learning about it,
No, that's,
and see if it's even something you want to keep doing.
you see, that's some old school advice that still holds up. Honestly, I mean, but people are so impatient now. They want to step, out of high school and into some kind of job. and
Right.
It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you have to pay dues and you got to find unorthodox path.
Oh, for sure.
Same with me in radio. I mean, I wanted to be a radio guy too, but I didn't have the background, so I had to manufacture a means to get here.
Right.
And in this case, it worked. But I think that is a great piece of advice. Look, I mean, if you're into an industry, if you're like, man, I'd like to be a cultivator, or I'd like to come up with the hybrids, or I'd like to be into the science of marijuana. Well, get a job at a dispensary and start
Right, and
there. Start at the dispensary, start in a grow operation.
And there's been many companies that I've worked for where that's the exact story of the CEO.
Yeah.
They started out just right where you are.
I
and
guarantee you, in most cases, in this case for Legion Scaffold, Adam started out as a scaffold builder in the industry. I mean, that's how he started.
Right.
He was building, well, he started as a regular scaffold guy, but, assembling them.
Right.
Not designing them. And over the years, he got better and better to where he started designing them. And now he's like an Elon Musk of scaffold. I mean, he's like a genius, a savant.
Absolutely.
With the design. I mean, it's just everybody knows who he is and knows his talent level. But he did it coming up. And that's always, you have the most understanding of a company when you come through all the roles.
Right. That's what I was just going to say. You never know. Eventually you work through all the roles and you look at it and go, hey, I can do this better and maybe cheaper or a different price or better quality, and bam, now you have your own business.
And the thing is, versus bringing somebody from the outside who doesn't know the business, I mean, if you started as, whatever the entry level role was, then you understand what those people go through.
Right.
You're not oblivious to it. A lot of times leaders of companies, they're so disconnected. Like, when I worked for Comcast, Xfinity, whatever you want to call it these days, I know, right?
No wonder you're so angry. You're so abused at your job.
No, but I'll tell you this, that the corporate office has no clue.
No.
Zero clue that the disconnect is so significant. I think there were 3 different occasions where I literally went above everyone in my division here to go to corporate.
Yeah.
One time I ended up, it was actually kind of funny.
Story time.
One time. Because, look, I spent, I don't know, a decade or longer in doing business over the phone.
Yeah.
So talking on the phone.
I've done that a lot too.
Yeah, is something that comes.
Yeah, me and you are like parallel.
In a lot of ways. Yeah. When I get on the phone, I sound very authoritative because I come across that way, And so I was looking for someone. I was really aggravated with the situation. I'd gone as far as I could go. My leadership wasn't getting it done.
Right.
And it was putting me in an impossible position as a leader myself.
Right.
And so I just started going through the company numbers. And I said, to hell, I'll try. And so I called for the president. Couldn't get the president. Made the second call was for the vice president.
Okay.
His administrative assistant answered and patched me through to him.
Ooh.
He was so shocked. He was like, how did you get here?
We're not supposed to talk to
That's
you
right.
guys.
I'm not supposed to be here, Emma, but now that I'm here, you're getting an earful. And he did. He got a good 20 minutes of his life that he didn't get back, But yeah, man.
I knew I should have called off sick today.
But starting off, in those roles where you understand what people are going through makes you a vastly better leader than someone who doesn't.
Oh, I would absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. But one thing with the air traffic controllers, because I was just kind of, even like a few months ago, before all this started, I was looking back and going, I'm 37, 38. I can still go back to college and get a degree and, go into the career. No. Not as an air traffic controller. They cut it off at 30.
Is that right?
You have to be 30 or below
when you get in.
When you get in to start to actually be in it. Yeah, I'm way past the point.
So I'm real close. Tonight, Four Nations final between the U.S. and Canada has already started with barbs being exchanged between the two teams. Listen, I know the other day they rolled out and man, they happy Gilmore Canada, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just beat the hell out of those guys. God bless them, just eating walls and whatnot.
That's going to be the most watched thing tonight.
It probably will. The last matchup between the two teams started off with 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. Canada's Brandon Hagel said his fight with Team USA's Matthew Tkachuk was for the flag, not for the cameras. Hagel also called out JT Miller and Brady and Matthew Tkachuk for pre-planning their fights via group chat, saying Canada's fighting wasn't pre-planned. When asked for comment, Matthew alleged that perhaps Team Canada doesn't really like each other. If they don't have group chats, Kachuk added, Team USA doesn't care about the chatter and only care about one thing in the room,
Yeah.
Four Nations final will air tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN here in the States.
I was going to say, I don't think the argument of, oh, well, you must not be cool because you don't have group chats. Really,
Right. Hell yeah.
that matter. And
Yeah, I think they're just trolling. A new report from the U.S. Travel Administration, which is a nonprofit, has called out the U.S. air travel system, calling it inadequate for the millions expected to attend the 2026 World Cup and 28 L.A. Olympics. The report was created by a group of former government officials and industry experts. Issues highlighted in the report are aging infrastructure, sluggish visa processing times, outdated security technology. The report says the U.S. is not ready to handle the upcoming events, and it poses a risk to national security and hampers economic growth. Yeah, I guess they ought to do something if that's the report. Maybe we had some problems there. I can't imagine why things are falling out of the sky or crashing on runways. Come on, man. Well, 2024 was a big year for you to give your money away. A big year for sports betting in the U.S. Final figures from last year show the industry pulled in $13.71 billion with a B in revenue. Wow. That's up from 2023's record of $11 billion. According to the American Gaming Association, sportsbooks nationally took in almost $150 billion in wagers and won at a rate of 9.3%. So 9.3% of the time the bookies won. And on $150 billion, 10% of that's pretty good money.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Pretty good. That's about $150 million they profited.
So what do you think is the reason for the uptick?
In betting?
Yeah.
Mobile betting.
That's what I would think.
Yeah. I mean, here in Arkansas, you couldn't bet unless you called a bookie or went to Oaklawn for the longest time.
Right.
Now you can go to Oaklawn, you can go to Saracen, or you can bet on apps from both of them.
Yeah. Yep.
And so if you can do it from your house, it's like anything else, you know. You used to have to go to the store to get videos and magazines.
Now you can just look at, yeah.
Now you just go on your phone. Click private first. Don't leave that in your search engine, buddy.
Incognito.
Yeah, incognito mode, whatever the hell they call it. You know what I mean. Don't get yourself caught being dumb.
Do you do you bet on sports often?
No,
or?
I don't.
I mean, I know you don't have a great history
The
with it.
last time I did it, it put me through a table. Started a path that ended up with 2 cracked ribs. So that's what my bet cost me. Hold on one second. Yeah, so far it cost me being slammed through a table and a couple cracked ribs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's, again, it reminded me why I don't bet.
Yeah, Turner says, too bad Pope County never got their casino.
Well, yeah, you know, that was a squabble amongst the people there. Las Vegas is like that. You know, it's a real conservative place. You know, I'm familiar with the town, and, you know, that's just how it is. You're kind of on an island out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you do over the past few days through the snow and ice? Just hung out at home, watched some TV? What'd you do?
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, hung out at home. You know, outside of doing this, I work from home. That's my regular full-time job. So I still get to work. Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, the roads suck. We're not going to work," and I'm like, not only do I have to go to work, I'm now frozen inside my house. So
yeah, oh, that's great, man.
No, let's see. Yesterday I woke up. Like I said, I went to go outside and open up my door and was like, "Hey, wait a minute, what's?"
Yeah,
my door's unlocked.
It was frozen shut, literally.
My water pipes were frozen, so
wow.
I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna ride it out inside." But
yeah, somebody called me yesterday and told me, "Yeah, I mean, my pipes are unfroze now, but it froze up last night. I don't know what I should do." I said, "Yeah, why don't you leave it dripping?"
Yeah,
should leave that dripping.
Mine were.
Yeah, open up the cabinet bottom doors, let the heat get in there.
Yeah,
and just leave it dripping all night. That'll keep it from freezing up normally.
Normally.
I
was gonna say because I did do that. I had every
and
faucet and it's still my my pipe's still frozen.
It was pretty cold, and the wind was pretty strong. To be honest with you, I mean the wind had to put it in the teens a lot.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was cold.
All right, let's see what is going on here with the people.
Oh man, we got let's see, they're talking. Yeah, we got Latasha, Little Doggy, Brandon. They were actually talking on YouTube. It looked like they were talking about Nick Cage. Little Doggy said Nick Cage is a far better actor than Smith, and he's not even in his top 200. Latasha said she can't stand Nick Cage. His face just annoys me,
You know,
along with his
that's
voice.
funny. Man, sometimes I'm in the mood for a Nick Cage movie, and sometimes I'm not.
Yeah.
And for that reason is sometimes I don't know why. I don't want to see his face or hear his voice. I'm not disagreeing with you, Tasha, but he is a great actor, great over actor, to be honest with you. A lot of his roles he really eats into. Yeah, he's all right. I mean,
I've liked a few of his movies.
he had some really good movies in the beginning.
Right. Gone in 60 Seconds
that's
is
a good
still a classic.
That's a great one. My favorite being Face Off.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one,
That's
too.
a great one. Con Air is another one that was really good.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed him in I had it on the tip of my tongue, and then it just flew out my brain. The Hellraiser movie.
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider,
Oh,
thank
you
you.
like that? I'm sorry.
I mean,
No, I mean, some people did.
Movie-wise, it was a great movie to smoke something to and kick back and
very
turn the brain
interesting.
off.
I loved the comic as a kid, and Nick Cage was a little too old for that role, in my opinion, when
Yeah.
he took it on. But, he got a sequel.
Turner says Lord of War is his favorite
Oh, that's
Nick Cage
now
movie.
that is a good Nick Cage movie. He's an arms dealer in that movie.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good movie. That's a real good one. I do like that movie quite a bit. All right, let me tell you about this. If you are thinking about a vehicle, and look, this weather will test your vehicle. You'll know, man. If you got bad heat, that's a problem. If you're on Maypop slicks, that's a problem. It may be time to trade that thing in, man. Why don't you go down to Fitz Auto, get yourself a late model, low mileage vehicle? How about a 2018 Toyota Camry with only 40,000 miles on it? I mean, come on, it's not even broke in yet. 2022 Challenger, Dodge Challenger.
That's what I was just looking
with
at.
the hood scoop and everything. It's the GT. That's nice. 40,000 miles on it. Beautiful, beautiful car. 2020 Lincoln MKZ, 46,000 miles. 2021 Telluride, 46,000 miles. I mean, come on. Here's a Honda Accord, 2019, 47,000 miles. That car's got another 300,000 miles.
Oh, yeah, man.
Easily. These are the kind of vehicles that they have at Fitz Auto, and if you're saying to yourself, hey, maybe I can't, well, maybe you can't, because they work with that credit. They're a buy here, pay here dealership, but they do report to the credit bureau. So it helps you reestablish your credit. Check them out online, fitzauto.com, or hell, just take that hoopty down there to see them. It's 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. Mark and Jennifer and all the Fitz, Stephanie, all of them are great people. Everybody who's been there has been there a long time, and trust me, I bought 7 vehicles from them, and I'm thankful for all of them because they've been great. All right. So what else is going on, man?
Man, we got a lot going on. We're waiting for all the snow to ice and stuff to melt. But let's see, this Saturday, TNR and Wrestling with Pride are grouping up for Hazen, Arkansas.
Hazen, okay.
It's going to be blazing in Hazen.
Well, people are going to be excited to get out of the house. It should be cleared up a lot by then, and they'll be excited to get out of the house. They've been cooped up, so that ought to be a big event in Hazen.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. So if y'all are around there or whatever, come check it out. And, hey, you never know. That's where that On Patrol Live film or show is filmed at.
Is that right?
They got a group in Hazen. So
In Hazen?
yeah. Yeah, seriously, the
Patrol
police
Live.
chief. Yeah, you've never heard of that show? On Patrol Live?
Maybe not. I mean, it's like a cops type show.
Yeah, it's on. I think
I
it
didn't
plays
even
on
know
the
Hazen had a PD.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a live cop show.
It's like Mayberry. Like Hazen's just like a bunch of farmland, isn't it? Am I crazy? Or
No, I mean
isn't it a bunch of rural property out there? I mean,
pretty much.
I
And I'll
think-
tell you, man, I love that town. Like
it's cool.
when we go out there for a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
of course you're right. There's
Look,
not much else to do, but
that's
they show up and
they
show
do
out.
Show up. No, BB Hazen, they'll show up, man.
Oh man, yeah, this show's been out for a little while though. On
Okay.
Patrol Live, it's started in 2022.
I'll have to
so-
check that out.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. I did not know. Do they have a Hazen Vice squad?
A Hazen Bike Squad.
Vice.
They might now.
Hazen Vice.
They might. You know.
No, come on.
You
Man.
never know.
They don't. No, they don't.
No, but they did. Like,
I should not do that. That is terrible, Hazen. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't
look,
be messing with you like
if
that.
you've seen the On Patrol Live show, you're not doing anything bad. The first time they had him in Hazen, the first call was like the chief showing up to somebody's house to file a complaint about a goat in their yard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, it was.
That's what I would expect right there. Yeah, no, that's It's exactly what I expect out of hazing. Some drunk guy riding a tractor, a mower down the road,
Yeah.
drunk off his ass. That's hazing. Somebody getting pulled over, no tags, having a bunch of meth.
Yeah,
That
all that fun
seems
stuff.
seems like the kind of thing I might see.
Now you can see it from the comfort of your own couch.
That is great, man. That's
and it's not just hazing. They have video of
I'm sure it's
cops all
more
over
than
the-
hazing.
Yeah,
It'd
but
have to be to keep them busy.
Oh, yeah.
Hazing ain't busy enough to keep a show. 30-minute show would take a year in hazing, man. What are you talking about? Come on, man.
hey, you want a tongue twister?
A tongue twister.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't
I
say
know what it
something,
is,
yeah.
but what I don't know why.
Joel Putt says, want a tongue twister. If Diddy did diddle dudes, how many dudes did Diddy diddle?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
It's a
one.
pretty good one, man.
Yeah, it's a woodchuck chuck. Yeah, well, you put that out there, man. That's a good one. That's a great one, man.
What about you? What you got going? I mean, I imagine with the, weather that we've had, that probably put a damper on showing any houses.
Man, I mean, it did for a couple days, but I sold one yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the ice and snow and everything,
Well, we
man. That's
looked at
awesome.
it-
Hell
thank
yeah.
you, man. We went and looked at it a couple days before, and then he wanted to check on a couple things, got some information, and then we got an offer in on it early yesterday, and then by late yesterday, they accepted his offer.
Nice.
We negotiated back and forth a little bit. I guess I'd say 4 times we negotiated.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a minute. You got to kind of go play the game and go back and forth till you get to that happy place.
I did forget to tell you, I found some big news out.
Oh?
Actually, it came in Tuesday just after we got off air.
What's that?
So at the Hall in June,
Mm-hmm.
Game Changer Wrestling
I saw that.
is coming to Arkansas,
That's
and
big.
this is huge.
Yeah.
Especially especially amongst, and I say like my people, but the
Yeah.
independent scene people.
Yeah, of course.
Because Game Changer Wrestling is a huge independent
Well,
organization.
And my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, they are tier 2. They are the next. You get to that level, there's a good chance you could move into
Absolutely.
WWE, AEW, because you're a top tier talent if you're in that particular.
Absolutely.
Is
If
that
you're
right?
if you're within that, that's you're right. That's like the next level of the
Yeah.
independent scene, the
Yeah.
top level.
Yeah.
That'd be like
It's like the minors
that'd
for
be
baseball.
I was gonna say that'd be like me going from the baseball park in my local park across the street to going and playing at Travelers baseball field.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they're coming to the Hall in June, and that just because they already tour everywhere. They're a normal touring company,
but
but it's huge because it's showing validation to the independent scene here that
that
there
there's-
are eyes on Arkansas.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, anytime that you have something that significant coming here, it does put you on that radar.
Oh yeah.
And it probably is inspiring to a lot of the guys who are doing it.
Oh, for sure.
You
I
know.
mean, I already emailed out to them and said, hey, is there any way we can get some people on or whatever?
I heard one of our listeners may or may not have reached out to you about building a ring,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
measurements and dimensions.
I was going to mention that. I didn't know if you.
no, he reached out to me and said, "Yeah, how do you build a ring?" I said, "Man, you got the wrong guy." I said,
Right.
"Rich is the guy for that. You need to ask him about that kind of stuff."
I did talk
And so
to
I
Mike
sticked him
yesterday.
on you and said, "Go find Rich and see because he knows."
Yeah. Yeah.
So he said, "Man, I may put one in the yard." I
Yeah.
said, "Sounds fun."
Yeah, that's what happened. He messaged me. I got
Yeah.
the message last night, and I sent him I found some instructions for him because it was.
Maybe.
I thought he was just wanting one, and I was like, you can go buy one. I mean, they're expensive.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about $5,000 for a
Oh,
ring.
I'm sure. Yeah, I would imagine it's not cheap. For
Yeah,
a ring.
and I was like, you'll probably save just buying one than buying all the materials to build
Yeah.
it yourself.
Hey,
But
you might be able to. Who knows? Go on Marketplace or
yeah,
eBay, and I don't know. It was shipping if that would work, but yeah, you can certainly. He said he thought he would. Most exercise he didn't like, but he would enjoy that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, it is fun.
I
There's
mean-
no doubt about it. Getting in the ring's a lot of fun. You start beating up on your friends, or your friends beating up on you in the backyard. And next thing you know, you're signed up with Rich to be a.
Yeah, I was gonna say now you can go
personality.
lose your ribs in multiple locations.
Yeah, no,
right?
now you can catch that beat down like I did. Good luck on that.
But I did hook him up with some with a PDF that I found of instructions and measurements and everything. So we'll see if he does end up getting it together. I want to keep up with him about it for sure. So to that person, I don't know if we're saying the name or not, but we know who we're talking
yeah,
about.
we know.
So if you start doing it, man, I wanna keep up. I want updates.
No,
'cause-
it'd be interesting to see the build happen, and he's real good about making. He's done a lot of.
What in the world?
Hold on one second. He's done a lot of instructional videos. Hold on.
Go ahead, man. I'll handle it for a second. But yeah, no, it'll be good. Good morning, Keith. How you doing? Good morning, Turner. And then Tuesday we've got man, we've just got a lot of things going on over the next couple of weeks. Tuesday we got the Burger Chef coming in. I think
Yeah,
Thursday.
is it Michael Dampier?
Yeah, Michael Dampier. Yep. Thursday, I think Turner is going to try and make it back in. He was supposed to
Okay.
make it in on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But with the weather and everything, he wanted to play
And
it safe.
I think Wednesday we're going to have Victor and MMA fighter Carlos Nava.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. He's an MMA fighter. He's got a big match coming up, a big fight coming up, big fight card, and
And
you
then
talk about that.
let's see, not this Saturday, but next Saturday we've got Rude Awakening right here, man. It's right
Yeah,
around the corner.
That's great, man.
Tickets on sale now. You can go to the just hit the intermission page on Patrick and the People, and you can get the link right from there if
There
you want
you
to buy
go.
tickets.
Boom.
So that's
Yeah, no, you want to get tickets for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. What are they?
So we're doing we're last at Arkansas, we had the bleacher seating. We're
Yeah.
doing away with that. We're gonna have chairs.
official seating.
Yeah, official seating. First 2 rows around ringside, that's VIP ringside, is $25 a ticket.
Okay.
Next few rows after the first 2 are $20 a ticket. General admission, standing room only, bring your own chair, $10.
Okay, that's a value.
I think
look,
that covers
$25
everything.
to be right by the ring is a great deal.
Oh, and you're probably gonna get
You're gonna get some kind of experience where they're gonna be right in front of you doing something. You're gonna be right there on the action. You're gonna be able to yell at them and
Right.
cheer for them or whatever it is that you want to do.
It'll be a fun time.
And your kids certainly to be the front row. You'd be the coolest parent in the world.
Absolutely,
If you
man.
put your kids front row at that event, man. I mean, at a Vapors Championship.
Come out, check it out. Say his name and he's here. Michael Dampier just said good morning.
Hey,
guys.
what's up, man? And looking forward to having you in here and checking those burgers out.
Oh, man,
You're
it's gonna
talking
be
to
a
me,
good time.
baby. I love them burgers. All right. Listen, we've talked about this a couple different times for a couple different reasons, but this is one of those things like if
saw
you,
the headline.
if you had a golden goose, this is it. It just keeps laying these beautiful eggs that are great. Might be the most Maury Povich type show. They may have to resurrect. Is he dead? He's dead, right, Maury?
Is
Is
he?
he dead? Maury Povich? Is he alive?
I'll have to let me
If
research.
he is alive, we're going to need him. I'll tell you that. And if he's not, we need to resurrect him because you remember the lady on OnlyFans. Her name was, her stage name anyway, is Bonnie Blue.
Oh yeah, she's found a way into the news a few times.
Yeah, she has. And most recently, she found her way in the news by getting boned by 1,057 guys in 12 hours. So about, almost 1,100 dudes, about 43 short of 1,100 in 12 hours. So that's,
What's
you're
your body
running at
count?
an average of about 100 an hour. Think about that for a minute. 100 dudes an hour, bringing the Johnson to the party, briefly parking in the garage and then leaving. A lot of people checking your garage out. How about that, So what could be more entertaining or more interesting than that? Well, hard to say, isn't it? Until you hear this. She may be pregnant. That's right. All the protection, all the different things they may have done, she thinks she might be pregnant.
No.
Now, 1,057 guys came through this this party, and now
Your choice of words there.
You're
yeah.
gonna have to get all of them to do a test, or do you know which one broke? And did one break? And then you went, uh-oh. Was that moment there? Did you have to be, well, maybe it'll be all right, You would have thought, I would think, I'm just guessing. There's 2 things I'm going to need to do as soon as I finish being railed out by almost 1,100 dudes. Number 1, I'm probably going to need some water. I'm probably real thirsty. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to need a plan B.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no way after
About 50 of 'em.
57 guys, that I'm not taking a plan B. Maybe 2 of them, you're right. Maybe a bottle. I may eat the bottle. I'm not sure. That's crazy, man. And I don't know, but it's probably just something she put out there
I was going to say,
for publicity.
3 weeks from now, we're going to be sitting here going, so in other news, there's been a world record broke for how many DNA tests were done.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I mean, that's just...
Maury apparently is still alive, so maybe we do need to make a call out to him.
Maury, we need to talk to you. This is the one. This is the one to go out on.
He is 86 years old.
86, man.
That's
wow,
insane.
That is insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I might
Maury.
need your help.
Okay, yeah. You may need some help. That's for sure.
If the dementia hasn't kicked in yet.
All right.
The lie detector test determined. I don't remember what I was talking about.
Right. The lie detector. I need to eat my oatmeal. All right. So, what?
Michael says, it's not mine.
It's not mine.
It's not mine. I'm not the dad.
No, you're definitely not. All right. So this is let me see if I can find this story here because I saw this and I thought, man, this is wild.
Brad posted on YouTube. He said, did she do any DPs to save time?
No, it was all single players, single shots. No shotgun method. That's it. No double barrel. So we talked about, this is another thing we've talked about a couple times, and I suspect we're going to talk about it a lot more. And I have questions now. I didn't have questions before.
Uh-oh.
Now I have questions.
Okay, let's hear them.
The chance of that giant space rock hitting the Earth have decreased a little bit, but NASA and other space agencies are developing a plan to obliterate it. Asteroid 2024 YR4, it was recently discovered, has a 1.5% probability of an impact on Earth. Now, even though that probability down from the 2.6%, it's above the 1%. So international agencies are plotting a way to destroy the terrestrial chunk if need be. Talking about a little bitty piece of rock, maybe 300 feet total wide. Once it comes through the atmosphere, I mean, could it put a hole in the ground? Yeah. Is it going to be
catastrophic?
No. So all of a sudden now you're NASA. Not just some backyard people, not a few people,
right.
But NASA's like, how do we destroy it? Let's start planning. Is it this asteroid or another one?
There's somebody watching the money. We got to come up with a reason to spend it.
No. There's something more here that's making me nervous. All of a sudden now, the chunk would come in hot at about 38,000 miles an hour. If it were to improbably strike the Earth in December, the estimated doomsday, about 110 million Earthlings would be at risk, it says. But it's not going to be one of those, Armageddon or Deep Impact. This isn't some mile-wide asteroid.
They're not going to send Bruce up there to go drill it.
No one's going to try to split it with a nuclear bomb. Hopes that it goes right past the Earth on the right and left, because that would absolutely work in any circumstance, trust me. Jesus Christ. I love the movie, but that's worst science ever, by the way. But NASA and the European Space Agency are teaming up. So now the Europeans are in on it too.
Yeah.
Not just NASA. They're going to observe it and start working on this plan to destroy it. Yeah.
Look. I go back to all this stuff about, I can't even keep count of how many times I've survived the world ending. But I do remember there's an old joke by George Carlin that says, if the world really wants to get rid of us, it'll flick us off like a bad disease.
No, that is, to me, maybe the best Carlin bit.
Oh, for sure.
Time. The bit is about pollution and climate change and all of that stuff. And it's as brilliantly argued as any courtroom could ever present.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
that was one of the brilliant things about him was that he was funny, but it was current real life shit that he was talking about.
And it was. And the point, he made several points in that bit that are so good. Number one is, since 1974, when predictions started on climate change, which at that time, by the way, they called global warming. Mm-hmm. I mean, global cooling.
Oh,
They were worried about the opposite, global cooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then it changed to global warming. It's, many times. But to his point, not a single one of those predictions have come true, ever. Since 1974. Not one of them.
No.
Not a single one. We were told in the 80s, the oceans were going to burn up.
Right.
All that, all these things that we were told.
Do you remember going through the atom bomb? Did you go through that?
Oh,
Having
God,
to hide under the desks?
We had to get under our desk and do that kind of stuff. And again, that hasn't happened either, by the way. But the thing that he said, which made the most sense, which is think about the size of the earth and how many people are on it.
Right.
Think about everything that's happened to the earth. Do you think that you're hurting the earth, really?
Right.
It's a rock on fire going through space, circling around a bigger rock that could blow up itself.
Right.
And you think you're going to hurt it? You think you're going to affect it?
You
No.
think you're-
As soon as the earth's done with you, just like the dinosaurs, you'll be gone.
Yep.
That's that. It's over.
Just
so
done.
when the earth says, "Hey, I don't like you anymore," it'll spit your ass out.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
all
That's
that
why.
stuff. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. That's just kind of. I was like, that I agree with. That makes sense.
No,
so.
it's very true, man. I very rarely worry about things of that nature, the meteors and stuff. I mean, I'd like to joke about it. It's fun.
Oh,
But
yeah.
look, if it's coming, it's coming. What you gonna do? Nothing.
Hey, I told you on the last.
Let's fly.
What was it, back in 2012 or whatever, when the world was
Mayan
supposed
calendar.
to, the Mayan calendar. I was sitting in Sam's Club slinging DirecTV going, hey, watch the end of the world on HD TV. It's at 1080p.
Yeah, of course.
Sign up here.
Same as Y2K.
Yeah.
Remember, all the computers were going to shut down because of Y2K. We were going to go into everything was going to collapse. The grid was going to collapse. We were going to go back to the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
At the millennium.
Yeah.
Guess what? That didn't happen either, did
They
it?
got it changed.
How many times in life have we been rused into believing, it might be the end?
It's going to be, yeah.
It might be the
This
end.
is the end. Well, let's
Do
see.
you
There was
think
Y2K. There was
Listen,
2012. There was.
I mean, I don't mean, please take this in the spirit I say it, but you have to think too about, especially after the early days of Jesus dying,
Right.
that there had to be after about 50
Oh.
years, people started going, come on, man. He's not coming back, bro.
Right.
He's not going to be back. He's busy.
Right.
Doing something
He's,
else.
yeah.
He don't have time for this. He's not going to, 2,000 some years later, we're still waiting, come on back, man.
And they're
Come
still
on.
saying the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's the same thing.
Again, not to be taken in a mean way,
No,
because
no,
I
no,
actually
but
am. I
get it,
whatever,
but
yeah.
I say that tongue in cheek,
Absolutely.
That we're still waiting, right?
Hey,
I mean,
God has a sense of humor.
I
Man.
know he
Come on.
does. He wouldn't have made me otherwise.
But it all goes under. Look, live your life. Stop worrying about everything else.
Yeah, that's really
If it's gonna end, look, we won't know. It'll just like you said. Hey, I'm done with you. Boop,
even
you're
if
done.
you do know, I mean, look, it's seconds. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna die. You're gonna die. If the meteor's gonna hit, you can watch it till it hits you.
And I've had people, I've known people. I know people that are preppers, and hey, if that's
Oh,
your
yeah.
thing, go for it.
Look,
It's not my
get it.
look.
That's a different look. Your preppers. Nobody survives. I'm not gonna say nobody. Somebody might survive. But look,
Do you want to though? Is really my question.
My thing is, look, if a big enough asteroid hit, that it's going to do like the dinosaurs, it won't matter. There's really not much chance of survival.
Right.
But even if they do you want to? I mean, you're who knows what's going to happen? This thing could be off the axis. It could go through space. I mean,
Right.
any number of
You
things
can
could
see
happen.
so much crazy.
But but to your point, it's hard for people, but. The best rule of thumb is don't worry about what you can't control.
Right. Right.
And that's a really hard place to be.
That's a fact of life.
But if you cannot worry about what if you don't have control over, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's irrelevant.
There's nothing you can do to change it.
because you can't strategize and fix it.
Right. Right.
So if you can't fix it, what's the point? You just have to ride, man.
Hey,
Just
ride it out,
ride. and
see
move
what
on.
happens.
Yeah, just move on.
Hope for the best. Bend over and kiss your butt goodbye.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that. I grew up in Saline County. You got to hold on and hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? And just maybe. All right, I've got something else here that's kind of interesting.
Brandon says we need to get to Mars. See, that's another thing.
We don't.
No.
We don't need to get to Mars because there's nothing there on Mars for us right now. I mean, maybe in, I'm going to be honest, even in 100 years, Mars will never be. We might go there out of vanity once to say, it's kind of like when you try to dunk a ball and you keep trying to jump higher and you finally get high enough to All of
Right.
us kind of do it. You did it. We might do it just to say we did.
Yeah.
But we're not going to live on Mars. It's not going to happen.
Well, and even if we
That
did,
doesn't
like,
make sense.
they're not gonna, normal people like you and me, we're not getting
You
a ticket on that rocket.
You're not invited to the Mars
I'll be like,
party.
here, you can have the planet that's destroying itself.
Yeah, you're not
and,
invited to the Mars party.
No.
No, there's a much greater likelihood that they would build a large space station that might hold people, or
Right.
they'd find a more suitable, hospitable planet, and by then we might be able to travel to it because we have better technology. But nobody's going to live on Mars. Maybe the moon. I don't know. Probably not.
The moon?
I think there'll be moon tourism.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think there's going to be some of that at some point. in
I've smoked
50
some
years.
moon rocks, man.
I know
Those are
that's
pretty
right.
good.
That
Yeah.
is a good brand. That's a good brand too, right there. Moon Rocks is good shit, man. I had some this weekend called Hercules, or this week that was pretty good. Hercules.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you want to get up.
Was it strong?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's strong, baby. It's real strong. Hey, I do want to mention this. If you are like, man, I need to get out of the house. I've been cooped up. I need to go get me a brew somewhere. Let me tell you where to go. Go over to Stone's Throw Brew. Yeah, go over to 402 East 9th. Probably don't want to be on the patio today, but they got plenty of seating inside. And they have stuff every day of the week, different things. Thursday, taproom trivia starts at 6:30 p.m. tonight. First, second, and third places are going to win prizes. So you can go there. They've got like 14 beers on draft. Try any of those. It's a local craft brewery. Theron owns it. You've met him. He's been in here many times. So get over there and see them. You're going to have a good time there. And plus, you won't be stuck in the house for a minute.
Right.
That's all right. All right. So I wanted to tell you, let me pull this up because I saw this and I just think, man, things change, don't they? KFC. Do you know what KFC stands for? Some people might not.
So the last time I heard, it stood for Kitchen Fresh Chicken.
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken is what KFC stood for when it was started.
Right.
It was once known as Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're leaving Kentucky.
Oh.
Kentucky Fried Chicken is leaving for Texas. Yeah, that's right.
TFK?
Yeah, well, I don't know. The chain, founded by Colonel Harlan Sanders, leaving its Louisville headquarters to set up shop in Dallas, Plano, more specifically. Around 100 U.S. employees will be required to relocate over the next 6 months. Another 90 who work remotely will be required to move in the next 18 months. KFC and Pizza Hut Global both will be headquartered in Plano. Yum owns also Taco Bell and The Habit Burger and Grill. They'll stay in Irvine for now. But Kentucky Fried Chicken leaving Kentucky. But, so many businesses right now, companies, are following that Elon Musk lead.
Yeah. And going to Texas.
And going to Texas.
I mean, that's been a thing for a good few years now, man. Like, I think it's really just ramping up. But I've been hearing about people going to, leaving California and going to Texas for easily at least the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And
I've always wondered why, though.
well, they don't have income tax, personal property tax. I don't
Okay.
think they have a state income tax. One of them they don't have. They either don't have income tax or don't have personal property tax. It's
Okay.
one of them. So they have less taxes.
Because I've lived in Texas.
Yeah, I mean,
and there is nothing there. I mean, it's
if you're in
just.
Dallas, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But once you get out, San Antonio,
Takes forever to drive.
San Antonio, Dallas, and what's the other San? Texas.
San Quentin? No.
Houston, that's another one. Those three cities are pretty great.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's pretty rural, like here. It's a lot of oil derricks and stuff like that, cacti.
Yeah.
You didn't like Texas?
No. It
No.
was just flat and dirt
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Yeah.
it was just boring to me.
Where were you at?
I was in a small little town called Atlanta, Texas.
Atlanta, Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was about 20 miles south of Texarkana.
I bet that
was my
often
first-
was confusing to people. I'm from Atlanta, Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is it?
Yeah.
Georgia or Texas? Atlanta, Texas.
That was my first radio job.
Really?
I worked for a little Christian radio station
Oh,
down
wow,
there. I was
yeah.
the morning swap shop. And,
the swap shop.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we
That's
were
fun.
we were the #1 morning show in the area because
Yeah.
I was the only morning show in the area.
Well, there you go.
But
So what did y'all do? Literal swap shop, like people buying, swapping things?
yeah, people would call in, and I'd, hey, thanks for calling. You're on Swap Shop. What do you got? And
Yeah.
I've got blah blah blah. Or they'd email in. That's how I ended
So
up
what
getting
happened?
fired. So.
Oh, why'd you get fired?
Well, so I was running, morning show host. I was doing everything on my own. I was the only
Yeah.
one there, and we had
Yeah.
gotten an email. And I came back from break, and I won't mention the station, but hey, you're listening to WKQL, whatever. Texas. This is Rich Rockwell with the Morning Swap Shop. Got an email. Again, Christian radio station.
Right.
I want to point that out. Okay.
Yes.
So I come back. I said, got this email. Got a gentleman looking for an electric daughter for his dryer. I said it wrong. He was looking for an electric dryer for his daughter. who was off
Oh,
at
okay.
college.
Electric.
I said, yeah, looking for an electric daughter. The phone started ringing off, man. They started going crazy, all lighting up.
An
People-
electric daughter. for
An
a
electric
dryer.
daughter, yeah, man. Hey, I'd like to find out more about that electric daughter. And
Why
people
was this a
being,
firing?
inappropriate with what
That-
I said, apparently. And yeah, the boss came in and he's like, hey, man, you can't. That was a mistake. We're a Christian station, family oriented. Like, you can't be making mistakes like that. I'm going to have to let you go. And I was
Electric
like,
daughter.
Electric
Wow,
daughter.
That was the mistake.
That was
Boy, I'd have
too close to the sexual line for the
been-
Christian radio station.
15 seconds in, I'd have been fired.
Yeah.
I'd never made it. But so
I was like, that's fine. I hate the state anyways, man. You're doing me a favor.
I'll be honest. I did not like living in Texas either. I do like a lot of things about it,
Yeah.
but I lived in Fort Worth,
Okay.
and man, listen, if you didn't get on the freeway at 80, they were running your ass
Oh,
over.
man.
I mean, they are very aggressive drivers, or at least they used to be.
Well, and yeah, because I was going to say we were talking about that a few weeks ago where I was like, what? There's a different breed of Texas drivers.
There
But no,
are.
you're absolutely right, man. They don't
Yeah.
care.
No, they
They will run you off the road.
normally, if you see them come through here, most Texas drivers do not observe any normal speed limit. They just fly. And you'll see, they'll come up on you, and
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
move over and see those Texas tags. Go, yep,
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
I get it.
They're
Yeah.
from Texas.
Yeah, they on the run. They love to start at 80 and average about a 90 to a bill. Yeah.
They got them good roads down there. No, I was looking at some stuff because there was WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania time right now in WWE. And
Oh, is it? We
They're,
went to wrestle. I took my sons to it.
yeah, so it's the road to WrestleMania. We've had the Royal Rumble. Now, WrestleMania will be coming in April, and Hall of Fame is right around the corner. So they've been announcing different wrestlers that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And
Right. Well,
so I
that's
know,
cool.
like, Triple H was mentioned, Michelle McCool. There was a lot of backlash over that, man.
Over what?
Michelle McCool.
Why is that?
Just people don't think that she deserves. There was other people that are more deserving. They don't
Gotcha.
think she really did
Well,
anything, and
yeah.
she's married to the Undertaker, so people are
Oh.
kind of like, oh, he might have pulled some strings or
Right.
something.
Well, everybody needs something to hate on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's and wrestling fans love to hate on other wrestlers, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh,
that's
there's behind the scenes, and luckily we're great, and I'm lucky. I consider myself lucky with all the promotions that I'm involved with. I've never seen a lot of backroom drama, but
Right.
there have been other promotions that I haven't been involved in that, man, it's just like high school BS,
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, we're all adults. Why are
Right.
you really upset that so-and-so did a better move than you? Or
So
something?
let me go backwards though. We've glossed over something I want
Yeah.
to know more about. This swap shop you speak of.
I was trying to change the subject.
No,
man.
no,
yeah.
no.
No, you're
I'm
good.
not done with the swap shop. So
It was a small town.
Well, I understand, but I'm still interested and intrigued by it. So, what was one of the weirdest things that probably somebody did call about and
So-
somebody swap for?
I didn't. And again, man, when I say small town,
You mean small?
I mean small.
Yeah, like Hazen small.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
And I grew up 10 minutes away from Ann Arbor, Michigan, so I'm used to about 100,000 people being in my backyard.
Right,
I'm a
right.
city guy, So, anyways, I'm on air. I'm in the radio station by myself, doing the show. Cut to a commercial break. I noticed there's been somebody outside the studio door, like the door into the radio station,
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes just standing there.
Okay.
So I go on commercial break and I go out and open the door. Hey, can I help you? And this dude has like the largest watermelon I've ever seen in my life. right?
Like literally.
Like literally.
Like a
and he
giant
goes,
watermelon.
yeah, and he goes, hey, I'm just down the road at the Walmart selling these out of the back of my truck. I was wondering if you could say something about it, like on air, and kind of get some people to come check me out. And I was like, I'm gonna do one better, man. I'm gonna put you on the air. Just come on in. Let me interview you for a minute. And that had to be that, along with the person that was selling goats.
Goats. That was a big draw.
Oh yeah,
The
that
goats
was
a big draw.
The goats got
So
the
how
phones
did
ringing, man.
How did swaps occur? You just exchanged the numbers after they got the number of the other person, and
Yeah, so essentially what they would do is they'd call in, and I'd, pick them up live on air or whatever, and just push the button, and then I'd say, what do you got? They'd list off their item, and whatever it was. It's like a garage sale over phone.
Yeah.
So hey, I've got an old 1960 pickup truck, no engine. I'm looking to get $300 for it. My number is blah 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 blah.
Yeah, we should have like an item of the week instead, just one item.
Yeah, just
that somebody's trying to get rid of that we think's cool enough to talk about.
A 5-minute swap shop thing.
Not a crap item. I don't want to get rid of your old treadmill. Nobody cares about that, But you might have something cool that you want to get rid of.
Cool collectible items.
Yeah,
or something
yeah. I've
like
got
that.
a guy right
That'd be
now.
cool.
As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, Victor. If you're looking for a houseboat, has a houseboat for sale, and it's super nice, man. I mean, it is a dope ass houseboat. Everything on it is aluminum, so it doesn't. I mean,
Is that good? I
Yeah,
don't know anything about houseboats.
No, it's great. It means it's not going to rot. It's none of that problem.
Oh, okay.
And almost everything in it's been redone. It's got, everything in it's great. I think he wants 50 for it, but yeah, it's a really beautiful
Right.
boat. Let me see if I've got.
Guess you don't ever have to worry about your pipes freezing in a water boat because you're just in water.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter if the water. It's not quite the same. Yeah. I'll have to let me get the information on. Here we go.
They're liking that, man. Latasha says we need a swap shop show in
fun.
PATV.
So it's a 1974 King's Craft. It's 15 by 44. It's almost all aluminum. So the exterior and framework, it's timeless. It's got nothing to rust or rot or deteriorate. It's got a recent marine condition valuation survey report on file where kind of like a home inspection, they go through every single thing and tell you the condition of it.
Okay.
And this one passed with flying colors. I mean, the motors are great. Everything in it is top shelf. So if you're looking for a houseboat, it's local here, and Victor's good people. If you want to learn more about it, let me know, and I can send you some information on that houseboat. But $50,000 for a nice houseboat that's really redone that's a buy right there.
So we have our first swap shop post now.
Yeah, basically that's it. Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
What
Little Doggy says he's wanting to sell his extra tiny homemade mini bike as seen in his video series Mini Bike Death Trap.
Yeah, Mini Bike Death Trap. Okay, so he wants to sell the mini bike
Apparently.
as seen in the Mini Bike Death Trap video, which is some people think of a mini bike. Think of this as half of that size.
Okay. So it's even smaller than
it is clown-like.
Okay.
You've seen the clowns ride the motorcycles?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that size.
How fast does it go?
It goes real fast.
Does it?
Yeah, it's fast enough.
It sounds like a great gift to give a kiddo. Helmet?
No, I think this is too powerful for any kid. Any kid that doesn't have a driver's license.
You need a driver's license at least.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's asked me if I wanted to ride it a couple times, and I was like, I don't know.
I mean,
kill myself.
Come on.
I'm pretty.
Have you ever rode before? Have you ever rode a motorcycle at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've definitely ridden a motorcycle. But no, it's just so little, and I'm not little. I'm too close to the ground at that speed that the pavement pizza's too much for me. I can't roll those bones. But so yeah, the Death Trap mini bike or Mini Bike Death Trap. So you can go over to Little Doggy on Facebook or Mr. Woodall.
Okay.
On Facebook and find Little Doggy there.
Or call 1-800-WOOF.
I don't know about that, and check that out. if you're interested in a mini bike death trap, let us know. We'll get you in touch. With Woodall.
Latasha says, I got to see Patrick ride this minibus.
No,
man.
you don't have
You
to
see,
do
you
that.
should have mentioned it.
You
We're
don't
going to have to.
No, that's not going to know.
I know what our bet is going to be for next year.
It's not happening. I love Tasha Mack. It's not happening. Not happening, Tasha Mack. All right, let me mention very quickly. Here, let's just do this. I haven't done this in a little while. Let's see if this still works.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it does.
You know what? As a real estate agent, I've seen lots of homes get caught up in probate. That's when somebody dies and they don't have a will. And the next thing you know, siblings are arguing over houses, possessions, cars, things like that. That is a nightmare you don't want any part of. You're going to need some help. You need someone with experience. You need Riggin Law. Okay, RigginLaw.com. Kristen Riggin there and her team are amazing at guiding you through this process. Look, you want to get what's coming to you, but you don't want to have to fight with everybody to get it. Just get Kristen to do the work for you. Go to RigginLaw.com. When you have questions, you have concerns about an inheritance, about anything like that, RigginLaw.com is the solution. Check them out.
All right, let's get back to it here. Stress, a regular part of everybody's life, but when something is stressing us out, our bodies, they find ways to let you know, especially at night. Jobs can be a big source of stress until it starts impacting your sleep. You might not realize how bad it is. So this sleep expert, Martin Sleely, it's a tough name, Sleely, says these red flags could be a warning your workplace is toxic and affecting you more than you think. If you regularly wake up at 3 a.m., about an hour later I do, on purpose though, stress can influence sleep cycles. Level of stress hormone cortisol are higher in the morning. Waking up in the early hours on repeat suggests your cortisol levels are peaking sooner than they should be.
Really?
Something Sleely. Oh, see here now they changed it to Sealy.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes much more sense. Sealy says it's worth evaluating to see if workplace stress is to blame. So for the medical people out there, if you have a cortisol level that's a stress hormone peaking sooner than it should be, what would help that? Would I need to ask Jerry? I bet CBD
Yeah,
might be
probably.
something that can help that, but I wonder what else could kind of regulate that for you and help that stress hormone ease
I
up.
thought it was just like a body timing thing. Because I normally, like, even today, which is why I was a little bit late also, because I was like, we'll see what the weather is going to be like. But
Yeah.
normally every night I tend to wake up, like, no matter what time I go to sleep, I'm guaranteed to wake up about 2:30 in the morning for a second. And just kind of, and it's always, it's never an easy thing. I always, and then I'm like, oh, jeez, it's 2:30 in the morning,
No,
man. I'm going back to sleep.
I'll wake up and probably go pee, and it's probably going to be about 2:30. That's about right.
Yeah,
That's normal. 1:30, 2:30, somewhere in that range. I'll wake up, but I go back to sleep.
right.
Now, but some people, I've known people who wake up without an alarm every day.
Yeah.
I'm not those some people.
No.
Matter of fact, yesterday, because we didn't do a show.
Did you sleep in? Yeah, I did.
Let me tell you that. Slept in, got up, said, I'm just curious because I was looking at the light coming in the window.
Yeah.
Even though we have curtains, you can see the light
Yeah.
come through. And
You're
I was like,
it's bright outside.
that's pretty bright. Let me see. I wonder what time it is. Well, how late did I sleep? 11.
Nice.
11. people.
Dang.
I woke up at 11 o'clock.
What time did you go to sleep, though? Normal time?
Midnight, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we weren't going to have a show.
Right. So you stayed up
I
a
didn't
little
go to
bit.
bed. Normally, I go to bed about 10.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about what I do.
But
Still, though, man, that's
But yeah, I was like 11. Man, I hadn't slept that long forever. Man, forever.
Did you feel after? Did you feel more rested,
Hell
or did
yeah, I
you
felt
feel
more
like I
rested.
was? Yeah.
No, I felt great. I was like, man, that's nice.
You ever had one of those times where you sleep that long and you wake up and you're like, man, that was so nice. I'm ready to just go back and do it again and just
Yeah.
crash out.
Yeah, the worse than that, I've had, I'd sleep apnea before I had a CPAP, and that was the worst because I could sleep on command, literally. I mean, I could lay down at any point.
Yeah, that's
Night,
how I
it didn't
am.
matter. I could just go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was a big problem for me.
Yeah.
Because of that. I would wake up throughout the night all the time. I would never feel rested. I'd wake up after sleeping allegedly 8-9 hours, and I'd feel tired. I'd be like, God, how can I be so tired? I just woke up.
In the CPAP machine.
Oh, it
helps with
changed
that?
my life.
See, I've heard, and I've
Changed my life.
there was
bro.
a while ago, and I was probably about, 100 pounds heavier back then.
Yeah.
But I'd went and I'd done like they ordered me an at-home sleep test or something.
Yeah.
And it came back something that I stopped breathing like 17 and a half times,
A night?
an hour or whatever
Or an
while
hour,
I'm sleeping.
an hour. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. But I never got the CPAP machine
Yeah.
because I don't.
Well, 17 times an hour is a lot, and it's definitely worth looking into. Some of it could have been weight. A lot of it is
Yeah.
weight sometimes. Because when I lost weight, it helped a lot, but it hasn't stopped my problem because my problem wasn't really a weight-based problem to begin with.
Okay.
So for me, when I sat down after I did an internal sleep study, so I went into the clinic.
Yeah.
They hooked me up to everything, and the middle of the night, they'll wake you up to, could you please roll over on your back? Oh, God, yeah. And, but.
It's not that my body's not letting me get sleep. Y'all aren't letting me get sleep.
Right. But the doctor said, so you're waking up 72 times an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, well, I don't have any context of what that is.
What that means.
Is that a
Yeah.
lot? And he said, well, I have a rule. He said, if you're over 40 and you're waking up over 40 times, you'll be dead in 10 years.
Wow.
He said, I don't have a rule for 38 and 72.
Wow.
And I said, okay, so what do I need to do? He said, you're going to need a CPAP.
Yeah.
I said, okay, how long will I need to use it? He goes, how long would you like to live? I said, all right, sounds
That's
good.
serious. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got that CPAP. I have maybe once in all the years since there I slept without it.
Yeah.
I just do not.
And
Now I would
okay.
love to not have it, but I haven't opted for surgery. The original, now they've got a new implant thing they can do that's supposed to help, but the doctor told me what scared me. I would have just done surgery,
Yeah.
but he scared the hell out of me. He goes, listen, he goes, I just need to tell you the truth about this, all right? I said, okay. He said, you're a radio guy, right? I said, yeah, because you make your living with your voice, right?
Right.
Yeah. He said, so if we fix your problem, I have to break your nose. I'm going to have to break your nose, and we're going to have to fix the nasal passageway, and there's a possibility your voice may change.
Really?
And I went, oh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. That's your
That
moneymaker.
was a big ask. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, I'm like full time. I mean, this is how I get paid.
Right. I was worried about that when I went
Yeah.
and got some
I don't
teeth work done.
Yeah, I don't want to come out and be squeaky. Nobody wants squeaky
Squeaky
Patrick.
Patrick.
This voice has worked for me for a long time. You're gonna, bring squeaky. Hey, everybody is. It's like no, nobody wants to hear that shit, man.
Now when we get angry, we can just squeeze your neck.
Right. So yeah, sleep does matter. Let's see. Workplace nightmares. If you're having a lot of nightmares about work, it might be a sign of work stress. Yeah, I would say so. Revenge bedtime procrastination. Now, I don't know. It says this is something many of us are guilty of. Procrastinating instead of going to sleep. Could be a sign we don't have much control over our work-life balance and we're trying to regain some. Well, that's a stretch.
I think it's called being an adult and going, hey, I don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow to go. I'm gonna, stay up a little late, maybe.
I live with, like, if I had to pick of all disabilities that I have to choose from, and trust me, I have many disabilities to pick from. As I just mentioned, I have sleep apnea. That's one disability. But my greatest disability, the one that causes me the greatest problems and challenges, is I have a real dire, critical level of FOMO.
Oh, right. Fear of missing out? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, if I have to go to bed at 10 and my wife and Tyler are in there hanging out, having a good time, we're all watching,
whatever,
a movie, or we're watching a show, or we're just cutting up and talking, putting one in the air, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I have to go to bed. I have to turn on like a fan. I have to turn on everything I can to make sure I cannot hear them. Because as soon as I hear somebody laugh, like, what's funny?
I want to know. Yeah.
I want to know I want to be in on the joke. I hate it, man. I absolutely have terrible FOMO. And so that's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
This one says you have a weekday sleep schedule and a weekend sleep schedule. Seeley says sleeping in on the weekends to make up for your work week sleep deprivation is a sign your job is affecting your sleep cycle. Yeah, but I think that's common.
I was gonna say, and that's
I mean, lots of people sleep in on the weekend. That's the point.
yeah,
You
and
know?
that's been the way it is for geez.
Forever. Yeah.
I remember being a kid and wake up Saturday morning, turn on the cartoons, make your own bowl of
yeah.
cereal. You know, you didn't dare go knock on your parents' door till like
hell no.
noon.
You think you're gonna wake your parents up and ask for breakfast?
Yeah, nuh-uh.
Kidding me?
No.
Oh no, you better get a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You better know how to do that
Yeah,
yourself,
no,
and
you
yeah.
learn. Yeah, no, we were super self-sufficient in that way because you never want to wake the parents up. First of all, I didn't want them up; they were going to ruin my fun. They were going to ruin my fun. My dad, he don't care about cartoons.
Right,
Like, go
yep.
outside. I want to watch something.
Yeah, I want to
You know,
watch
so
the news.
I didn't want him woke up, you know. And then my mom, she's just, my mom, and she's, going to sing and be loud. And, I didn't want anybody messing up my cartoons, man.
Yeah, that was the one time you
Yeah.
got to control the TV.
Yeah.
And not be the remote
control.
Yeah, the
that's
remote
right.
control. Yeah.
No, I would get called from the back. I'd be in the bedroom, which was in the back of the house. My dad, hey, Patrick, come here. Yeah. Well, what's up, Dad? Put that on Channel 7. Like, God damn it. Serious, man. Yeah, I made the mistake of saying something about that once. He called me from the back of the house to get him an ashtray, which was on a table about 3 feet away. And I said, really? You could have got that, man. I didn't even finish that sentence, bro. Didn't even finish that sentence, pick myself up off the floor.
My kiddo got me yesterday, man. I was sitting there at my desk and
Was that the mini bike death trap?
yeah, dude, it was he was I was
Look
checking
how
it
small.
out.
You see how small that is?
Yeah, man, it's
That thing's small.
tiny.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You get on that and ride that clown cycle. It is
You
a
know
death
what?
trap.
I'd do it once.
Yeah.
I would.
It's a dope. I mean, it's badass. It really is. I mean, it's like
cool.
something they'd ride on Jackass and jump ramps.
Right?
You know?
And he put this together?
No, he did. He built it. And he did a great job.
know.
And he's built it. I think he's built it a few times, really.
Yeah.
Because he's run it through some different gauntlets before.
It's pretty sweet looking.
That is
man.
sweut, man. I mean, it's
hey.
a cool thing to have. Does he say what he wants for it?
I don't know. I was just about to ask him.
What
Yeah.
does it cost to die, Mike?
Let us know on Facebook.
What does it cost to die? Maybe we should just buy it for the show and have people come up and challenge him in the parking lot to ride it. Try to live on the show. Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, I was sitting there working yesterday, and my kiddo, he's a daddy's boy.
Yeah.
He always wants to be around whatever I'm
That's
doing,
cool,
though.
though.
Which I absolutely love.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm working away at my office at home, and he's sitting there, playing on the phone or whatever, and he goes, Dad, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack or something, some chips? And I'm like, yeah, man, go for it. You know where the pantry is? It's right in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
But I just sat down, Dad.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Let me hop up out of my chair that I've been sitting in for the last hour
right.
working away to go
Yeah.
get you your
Yeah,
chips.
Let me
yeah.
wait on you and get you some chips.
Yeah. I was
Kill it.
like, you realize when I was your age, if I said something like that, I wouldn't have any teeth left.
No, but you have to understand, we talk about this a lot. Kids, they don't have that perspective.
Man.
Because look, when we were kids growing up, when I was a kid growing up, for sure, even the movies that you saw, if kids acted up, they got that ass whooped.
Right.
They got in trouble. They got in big trouble from everything I ever saw as a kid. You didn't cross the parents or you get in trouble. You didn't. Now, even none of that is anywhere. These kids have no perspective. When I tell my kids, man, you're lucky because
Right.
and me, da-da-da, they're like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sucks to be
They-
you,
yeah,
Dad.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting. You talk about being a daddy's boy. I've got two boys, Tyler and Noah, and Noah's the oldest. And Noah was always daddy's boy when he was little.
Yeah.
And now that he's gotten older, he's more of Laura's boy.
Okay.
They have a similar set of personality. And Tyler, who was always a mama's boy growing up,
Has switched, yeah.
has switched, and we have more similar personality, which is interesting.
That just must be because I was going to say that's kind of how I was a mama's boy when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
And then as I grew up and started, I'd say once I like 16, 15, 16, on up, I started slowly becoming more of a daddy's boy.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Dad, how do you, what's this about? How do you do that? Teach me this, you know?
Yeah, and it's interesting too because even when it comes to social things,
Yeah.
it's funny. Noah more lines with her, and Tyler more lines with me.
Yeah.
Now we're all pretty close to each other anyway. I mean, I think most of us agree on things pretty generally about whatever's going on in the world.
Yeah.
There are some things we don't agree on, you know. There are enough, but we don't. It's not something that we ever get into arguments about at home. We just don't do a lot of that. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, mainly we just like to have a good time, kick it.
Sounds
you know?
like a good,
Yeah.
chill family, man.
No, it is. They're good folks, man. I've raised a couple of good boys. I've got real lucky between Laura and myself, and
Yeah.
you know, luckily, I guess the communities or schools we were involved in, and
Yeah.
man, both of them they're just excellent.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
they're
You
excellent.
did a good job.
It took a village,
That's what they always say.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike says he'll take $250 for the mini bike.
Oh, really?
If they,
$250.
he said he'll take $250 if they want him to go through it. $150 as is.
Okay.
He says it hasn't been started in years, so it
Okay.
needs a service like a lawnmower would. It's a snow blower engine.
Okay. Okay. So you could buy it for $150 if you're mechanically inclined and can do the update, maintenance, tune up yourself.
Right.
Or if you want him to do it,
$250.
he'll get it fully tuned up and rocking. And for $250, you can
You can
drive
have
off
the,
in it?
The mini bike, the mini
or you
death
can
bike.
put it in your truck or in the back of an SUV. I mean, it's.
I mean, it don't look big at all. Like it's.
No, I mean,
I think it would fit in a trunk.
Oh no, it'll fit in an SUV for sure. It'll fit in. No, maybe not a little bitty SUV, but a
No.
normal full size
I mean,
SUV for sure.
Even pickup
It
truck,
might
whatever.
It might fit in the Explorer. I don't know.
I think it would.
It might.
could.
Yeah, but that's pretty cheap
be bigger.
price. That's a great price for it, and it's got history.
Yeah,
you
man.
can show your kids the videos that were made of this beast.
Right.
You know, and that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
So if you need that, hit up Mike
Yeah,
Woodall.
or just hit us up and we'll
Yeah.
connect you with him if somebody's out there going, man, I want this mini bike death trap.
And thanks for tuning in to the Patrick and the People Swap Shop.
That's right. That was it.
See,
So
we started a whole new thing now, man.
yeah, well, that's why I was asking you about it. I was like, man, it might be fun to do a little of that here and there.
I mean, we
have a good
could,
time.
don't we have
Yeah.
a call-in line or something,
Yeah,
Could
yeah,
do
we-
like
we
a little
could do that.
15-minute, call in, and we'll try
Yeah.
and get your whatever item you're selling on the air.
Might be fun. Might be fun to do that once a week on the right. Just have to find the right day for it. Maybe a Monday might be a good day, a
Yeah.
slower day. Do it on Mondays. Have a little swap shop at the end of each show.
I'm down, man.
I think it'd be fun.
We could do a
Yeah.
little.
Well, we'll talk more
we
about
could do another
that.
blog section on the
Yeah,
and
we
make it
could
the
put
swap
that in
shop
there
and
and
put
have the
people's
featured
numbers on there.
item or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
let's make it happen, Captain.
man, that seems fun. We're going to talk about some infrastructure on that because that'd be good. So work stress. You work from home.
Yeah.
How does that affect work stress? How does working from home in theory is supposed to be easier, better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it is that.
I mean, yeah. I've been doing this now for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Who, can I ask? Is it okay to say?
Oh yeah, I can talk
Who
about
do
it.
you-
So
who
it's really boring. I mean, if I
Yeah,
really
no,
explain
my
to you the
wife
job
worked
I do, but-
from home for 3 years
Yeah.
and 4 years, but I think 2 years of it she worked for a company, a health insurance company, helping enroll people in the Medicare benefits program.
Okay, all right.
All right.
nice,
So what
yeah.
do you do?
So I work for a company called Auditex. It is in IT. I'm
Okay.
IT support over the phone. IT support.
I see.
But essentially, what we do is we are one. There's multiple programs out there, multiple companies, but we are one company that it is a estimating software. So we are the middleman between insurance companies and body shops.
Okay.
And when your
okay.
vehicle is involved in a collision and it goes to the body
They
shop,
enter the stuff in this program.
in this program, and it tells them how much damage is caused to the vehicle and whether it's a total loss or how much it'll cost
Okay.
to fix
Yeah.
the vehicle.
Yeah. So it provides that for the insurance company to review.
Yeah, and so basically I troubleshoot that software for
Okay.
the body shops or insurance companies and it's mostly easy stuff,
Yeah, like reboot.
Yeah, I forgot my password or, hey, I can't find this part, how do you
Yeah.
get this to show?
Yeah. So where do you have work stress?
Not from work.
No?
No, I mean, most of my stress comes from, hey, Dad, I need this. And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
I'm on a call right
So,
now.
but
I
that
can't
is
take
that is
care of
some
you."
work
But,
stress because
yeah.
your work environment has a kid that needs stuff in it.
Right. Yeah.
And
I was going to say it's more environmental.
Normally, if I go into the office, my kid's not there to
Right.
distract me or ask me for anything, so that would be a
be
little stressful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're
Absolutely.
going to have to wait until I can do it. I can't do it right now,
It's,
and getting them to understand that and not barge in.
Right,
Yeah.
and be right there, oh, hey, and my kiddo, he's just like me, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, you
I
just
like
say,
to be on
"Shut
the
up,
mic.
you little." No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's probably about the most stressful thing. I think the worst thing is really just life with it because,
Yeah.
like, you have I have the time at home and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh man, I could be doing
You're
this right now,
FOMOing.
or right, I
You're
could be,
FOMOing, yeah.
I could run to the grocery store. No, you can't.
No, you're at
You're
work.
stuck inside of your house.
Yeah.
And that is
So-
the opposite, is that I never leave my house. I work from home.
Yeah,
I'm a single dad.
That was what Laura had the biggest challenge with. Is after she had done it a couple years, she was like, "I feel so isolated."
Yeah.
And especially coming off the pandemic and all
Right.
that, it was like really.
And that I will say is probably the hardest part because you just, I often feel like I don't get enough exercise during the day.
Or
And I don't have the willpower to just go, hey, I'm going to run outside for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I have Cody as a trainer. I have to
you
have
need
somebody to
push
motivate
there.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a more deep question here. Being a single dad,
Yeah.
which is challenging all by itself. But
Absolutely.
my kids are adults now. I mean, they're not kids,
Right.
and this world is a little different than
Oh, for sure.
when my kids were kids.
Oh, yeah.
How do you navigate as a dad, with this new world and all the different things that come up and the social issues and different things? I mean, how do you manage your kid in these situations? How do you relate and help them on the path that you want them to be on, but not be on, quote, the wrong side of history,
Right,
so to speak. You know what I
right.
mean?
Absolutely.
How do you navigate those? Or is it a challenge to have these conversations with them, or is it anything that's even come up yet? I mean,
I mean, yes and no. It is. It's kind of a case by case basis.
Yeah.
You got to handle it where you can.
Yeah.
My kiddo is, bless his heart, but he has ADHD just like me, so he bounces from thing to thing.
As did
so
I, yeah.
I have about a 5-second attention span to really, okay, this is what we need you to do.
now how old is he?
He's 6.
Okay, so he's not quite at. He's the age to ask a lot of questions. But not
Yeah.
the age to hear a long answer.
Right.
So you got to
And
keep it
so-
real short and sweet at that age.
I'll give you an example, and I don't remember his name, and thank goodness he understood, and we apologize. But I was at an event, a wrestling event, with the kiddo, and somebody had walked in that for whatever reason their legs were amputated,
Okay.
and they had the not like prosthetic legs,
Yeah.
but like the bar. I don't know what they're called. Just leave me
The
hanging here, but
the
anyways.
bar.
Yeah, like where they have it's I wish I
You talking about the arm things?
No, like in your leg.
Oh, okay.
Like anyway, so it looked obviously different than how you and
Yeah,
I
he looked very robo.
And so Jax looked and he meant to whisper it to me, but he said it loud enough that everybody could hear.
Sure.
And he's like, "Dad, that person doesn't have any legs."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, we don't like." You can't point that out like that.
Well,
You
I mean,
have
it's
to,
true. He was
Which, yeah.
right.
And that's what I told him. I said, I understand to you, that's, and I sat him down and looked at him and I said, look, I understand to you, that's not something that you see every day. You don't know what's going on. You just happen to see it and it's interesting and it caught your attention.
Yeah.
But we don't point out those things. Like that's rude to do.
I think as a dad, you yell, "Holy shit, you're right!" Hey, dude, you got any legs? No, don't do that.
I heard they're on sale at Walmart. Blue light special.
I remember, I don't remember, but my mom used to always tell the story about when we went to the post office one day and there was a cardboard cut out of the postman. And I
Yeah.
asked her if it was a bastard. Yeah, no, that's
Hey, man. I used to wonder the same thing. There were some times when I'd look at my parents and my brother, and then look at what I'm into and, what interests me, and I'm like, something doesn't add up here. There's three of you, one of me. I'm different than everybody, and am I the milkman's kid?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have brothers? You have siblings?
Yes, I have one older brother. He's 6.5 years older than me.
Just one.
Yeah, well, I have one older brother, and then I have two half sisters.
Okay.
And they're.
But did they grow up with you? Or?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, we know of each other,
Right.
and we went and saw each
Same
other.
thing. I have a half sister I haven't seen in years.
Yeah,
get it.
I could call her up right now. I have her number and say, "Hey, I love you, sis," and I love you too.
Yeah, but that'd be that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how mine is.
Yeah.
So your brother was 6.5 years. That's about the difference between my younger brother and I.
Yeah.
I was the oldest.
Yeah.
So do you have a good relationship with your older brother, or did you? No, that's a no.
No, we don't, and it's not that it. My brother annoys the hell out of me.
Okay, well that's fine. Sometimes it's just a personality conflict. Doesn't matter who it is.
But I love him. He's my blood. I can pick on him, but if you go say something to him, I guarantee you I'm gonna step up and whoop your ass if you're picking on him.
Okay.
But, I'm the only one allowed to punch you in the face.
So were you were the baby then?
Yeah, I was the baby.
Were you a baby though? Or that guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as a kid.
My mom said that when she was pregnant with me, it was the easiest pregnancy. She said I'd roll over here. They had to induce her for my labor.
Yeah.
Which are for her labor to bring me in.
They're still inducing you to go to work.
Yeah, that's what I tell her every time she says,
induced.
hey, I brought you into this world. I can take you out. I say, please, I didn't want to come in the first place. You made me.
No, I don't think you brought me in. I think they had to force me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was already trying to stay in. I was wanting to stay warm. I was under the covers. It was good,
But when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I was a good kid. Like, all my parents had to do was look at me cross-eyed, and I'd go up the stairs to my room. I knew I was done for. My dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So he'd switch on that drill sergeant mode if he was really pissed off at you.
Yeah.
And, you were done then.
See, my dad wasn't military, but he was military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He never did the military, but that's the kind of cat that he was.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of people, in that time frame work, kids were meant to be seen, not heard.
Right. I think it was just that, yeah.
It's just the era. You know what I mean?
That's even, it's not something that you can do these days. You can't just yell.
Here's something that my dad did that probably was wrong. But I don't know if it was wrong, actually. But so when I remember
Look, it don't come with a manual, man.
No,
we do the best we can.
We do. But I was 5, and but I went with my dad through a paper route as a grown man,
right?
And I would go with him often. He would take me. I don't know why he wanted me to go, but he did.
That's fun.
And sometimes he'd have somebody else with him that maybe, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a big route or why. I don't know. I was too little to know.
Right.
But I know that on those mornings, I was allowed to say any curse word I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't say it around ladies or anywhere else.
Right.
But in that van,
you could
paper throwing van, I could unload any curse word, and they thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
For me to do that. Do you, with your kid? I mean, he's 6. Have you crossed the curse word barrier yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean we've come up with it, and actually we were just talking with this yesterday because my kiddo was going around everywhere yesterday. I don't know what he was obsessed with, but freaking this, freaking that, freaking.
Yeah.
And I was like,
say that
you might as well just say the word, Jax. Like, we know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was not acceptable. You know what else?
Hang on.
What?
Hang on, I gotta read this. Hang
okay.
on. Latasha says last night I convinced the little boy I babysit that he was born from aliens, and they dropped him off to his mama here on Earth. And when he grows up, he'll be the leader of an alien nation.
That's great. That's the best.
He said he went home, had a meltdown, demanding his mom call the aliens because he wanted to meet his family.
That's hilarious.
He
man.
texted, thought it was the funniest shit ever.
No, that's
great.
No, that is great.
That's classic.
That's solid. Yeah, no, that's good time.
She also wants to know, does your, and I know this is going back some, but does your FOMO cause you anxiety? Because she said it causes her anxiety, like her FOMO.
Does it cause me anxiety? I mean, it makes me not be able to sleep, so I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something like that. I mean, I guess a little bit.
Yeah.
Depending. Yeah. I mean, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
think-
I not maybe the level that other things would. I mean, that's it's my biggest probably disability in a way.
Yeah.
Because I will short myself sleep, and so I say that's why it's my biggest disability is I'll literally sit in the living room hanging out with them until I start to fall asleep at the couch, and I'm. It's real weird. This is something else weird about me. I
There's
say it's
something weird about you?
I don't know if it's weird, but I assume it feels weird when it happens. But when I fall, I don't have a chair. You know, some guys have a recliner
Yeah.
or a chair. I don't have a chair.
No?
No.
Sorry, man, you're missing out.
No, I just never wanted that. That's what my parents, my grandparents had. And I was like, I don't want to be the guy with it's my chair. Don't sit
That's
in my
like
chair.
male goal
I
adulthood,
know,
man. That's like the first thing you
maybe
do is
one
buy
day.
your, yeah.
Maybe one day. But
Yeah.
so I'll be sitting on the couch, and when I go to sleep, I don't know it like anybody else. You just doze off, right?
Yeah.
You're watching TV, hanging out with your family, your eyes closed,
And you're done.
and I start doing this. And I'll be like this.
Before somebody stops you?
Yeah, before somebody I'm almost horizontal. And they'll be like, Dad, what? You know, I have no idea that I'm doing that.
Wait, we're going to have to find out about this one. Brandon says Gunner convinced kids that were jumping on a trampoline that if they jump high enough, they'd fly up in space.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that. There's lots of things you can tell little kids that are,
Oh, man,
they'll keep trying for a while, and then they'll finally they'll put it together when it's
So,
time.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
Actually, that just
I'll
happened.
be the judge of
Oh,
that.
yeah, right. Probably that funny. But so the other day, all the snow's falling. Right, kiddo had a friend come over and stay the night. They're in the room playing video games and just being kids, having fun,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sitting in the living room. They come out and they go, Dad. There's a cat in the closet. There's a cat in your closet. We don't own any pets.
Okay.
Don't have cats. Don't have dogs. I
Okay,
just
so
don't
that's a
have time
cause
for
for
it.
some alarm.
So I'm
could
like,
be a cat, could be something else. we
right,
don't know.
what do you mean there's a cat in there? We don't even have a cat. So I go into the room, and I'm open up my closet door, and there's nothing in there. There's my suits and clothes, Jax. There's, it's
Yeah.
empty. Meow. I hear a cat. Where the hell is that cat coming from?
What?
Sure enough, you're right. There is a cat somewhere around here. So I'm looking around, and I hear it again, meow. So I look on the floor. There's the little air vent for the heat
Well,
and
sure,
everything.
yeah.
And I'm listening, meow. Go to look at the air vent. Sure enough, there's a freaking cat's face looking at
In
me in
your
my
air
air
vent?
vent.
Oh,
It was so cold, it managed to climb underneath my house and somehow find a hole in the air vent
Yeah.
and climb up
Well,
there.
let
and
me-
I had to rescue it out of the air vent, man. It was crazy.
Let me encourage you as soon as you're able to get under there to go or call somebody to get under there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I know that you lease this place.
Yeah.
I would call someone and say, listen,
Oh, yeah, I did.
okay. 'cause
Yeah. There was already a message
Yeah, if
sent
there's a
like,
hole in
hey.
the duck that big that a cat got in.
Oh, yeah, there's a
you know
problem
how much
here.
heat and air is not getting in my place?
Right. Yeah.
No doubt. That's wild.
Yeah,
man.
there was
I bet you tripped
Dude, I did because I could have. I'm like,
because you're looking for it, you can't find it.
right, and on time it was already the shock of there's not a cat in our closet.
There's a cat here, and his name is
Good
Solo.
catch, good
yeah,
catch.
and he's real. I remember coming in probably 2 weeks ago, and this is if you've never been here, you don't know it's a very big facility.
Right.
All right. So our studio is just the front little space in this giant building. It's like a warehouse size building, and lots of different rooms and places. And so I come in and I hear the cat. I can hear. I mean, it's meowing. Like you can tell when a cat
Needs
has
something.
a distress sound.
Yeah.
They got a distinct distress sound. And so I know. And look, I'm not a big fan of cats, but like I'm also a human being who cares.
Right.
And I'm like, I got to find this cat. I got other shit to do, but I know this cat's in distress for some reason. So I'm looking everywhere, man. I've looked. I mean, I'm going different directions. I'm looking under things, and finally, there's one little place where there's a little stairwell that goes up to a small room upstairs, and nobody ever uses it. And apparently, it had gotten somehow in the ceiling and fell through the tile of that room through the vent and stayed in that room for the weekend. So yeah, By the time I got here, he was 9 kinds of hot about it.
Yeah.
You
What up?
know, he was not happy at all about that. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
yeah, no, that does happen.
Hey, Mike added that mini bike would fit in the back of his Mini Cooper.
Really?
So
Well,
that's,
that tells you how small it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can fit it in anything.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if you could equip it with a remote and make it a remote control mini
remote
bike
control
that
start.
put a little side wheels,
Yeah.
not training wheels, but some kind of little side
Like
things that keep it-
stabilizer things.
stabilizers,
Yeah.
and remote that thing, because that'd be kind of funny to put like some kind of puppets on it or different things on it, different stuffed animals, and make it ride around on a remote. That'd be hilarious. Look like, put a Kermit the Frog with a helmet
Right.
on it.
What's
You
his
know.
name? Was it Courage? Not Courage the Cowardly Dog. The insult comic dog.
Oh, Triumph.
Yeah, there you
Triumph,
go.
yeah.
that'd be-
Is that Conan O'Brien? Who does the Triumph? It's not Conan. It was just on his show, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, it was on a show, but I don't know
it's not
who
something
does
he
it.
invented, right? I
Yeah.
don't think it is. I don't think it
let's
is.
see.
But that Triumph, the insult dog, for a long time was pretty big. I
Yeah.
mean, he had a
I
good run.
happened
for a
to
few
see him
years.
last night on Hollywood Squares.
He's still around?
Oh yeah, he's on
Really?
Hollywood Squares
Oh,
now.
wow. On
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares. That show is on?
Dude, I smoked a little bit last night.
No, but where's that show on? The
it
Game
was
Show
yeah,
channel?
it's like a whole new version of it.
But what channel? Where are you streaming it? That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
shoot, I had it on YouTube TV. I think it was on ABC.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, major network. They had Gabriel Iglesias on there.
Okay. Fluffy.
Who else? Yeah, Fluffy was on there. Oh gosh, what's her name? Drew Barrymore. She was on there.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, she's one of the
You know,
special
I've
people.
always liked her, but she's a little annoying right now. Her show, every time I see a clip of it, it really annoys me.
Yeah.
And I've always liked her, but because she is weird.
Well, she stopped drinking like 5 years ago, man. So
Yeah,
maybe that.
maybe so. But
Hey,
I'm
there's-
just saying she's a weird chick. That's all I know.
Yeah.
When I watch the show, I'm annoyed a little bit by her, but otherwise, I've always like she was in that movie 51st Dates.
It's a great movie.
I like that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good Adam Sandler movie. A lot of times I don't think about, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Schneider's particularly funny as the
They were
guy in
having.
that.
They were having. Speaking about that, they were having like a Will Ferrell, just marathon of movies on the other night.
Oh,
on
yeah?
TBS, dude. They had Old School
Oh, that's
and
funny.
Step Brothers.
You my
man.
boy,
and-
Blue.
Oh God, it was great.
Yeah, Step Brothers is my all-time favorite
Yeah.
comedy.
Nothing.
I could probably recite the script of that front to back. To be honest with you, I love it that much. I've watched it dozens of times.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny to me. I do like the one with, sometimes Kevin Hart gets on my nerves.
Man, I am not a Kevin Hart fan. That
you-
dude annoys the hell out of me. He's right up there with Jamie Foxx to me.
I like Jamie Foxx too.
They're just
but
both so ham.
But I understand what you mean
Yeah.
by that, and he is he's all in,
I mean-
and so a lot of times now I do like him, or I did used to like his stand up a lot. I think it's gotten a little weaker now, but that happens to people.
Yeah.
But in movies sometimes he's annoying. But in Get Hard
Yeah.
with Will Ferrell.
He was good.
Oh my God, that one is great.
Yeah.
No, and more of it's Will Ferrell than it is him. Will Ferrell's he's so great. And
Oh,
Old
man,
School's a good one. What's another one with Will Ferrell? Talladega Nights, Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those both really, really,
I
really.
know
well.
Anchorman was I didn't buy the hype of Anchorman.
No, you didn't love
No,
it.
it just
I
wasn't
like
my,
it.
you
I
know.
like it.
I
like Talladega Nights probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Ricky-
Shake and bake.
Yeah. That's I like John C. Reilly too. He's funny too.
Oh, yeah.
He's just his face. He's one of those people. God love him, and I know he's been plagued with it his whole life. He has a face that makes him look fat, no matter what he weighs. Like he's skinny. He's really a thin kind of guy, average at best.
Yeah.
But his head makes him look fat.
Just
And that's gotta suck. Just to know you got a head that's gonna be fat.
That's gonna
no
make
matter
it,
what.
yeah, no matter what
Yeah,
you do.
no matter what.
You can't go,
Yeah.
do head lifts or anything.
I was watching a movie with Michael Jai White, who I really, really
yeah, we
enjoy.
were just
we were just talking about him. But I thought I saw the movie and I went, "Oh, damn, he got fat, man."
No.
Because it happens. I mean, he's like,
Right.
I don't know,
Steven
he's
Seagal.
57. And I was surprised he was that old. But I'm like, man, he got fat. And then he took his shirt off, and I went, No, I don't know, man. He must have got some fillers in his face or something because he's still chiseled.
Yeah.
You know, but his head looks a little fat now. But I like him. I like him. He's a
good guy.
He's
He's a
got
good
fun
wrestler.
movies if you like watching people kick ass, and I
Right.
do. I mean, I grew up on Chuck Norris movies. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Chuck.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
No,
show.
way
You never
before
watched
that,
that?
man.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Old
about,
school.
I'm talking about young Chuck Norris.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 70s Chuck Norris. That was my first action star. That
was before my time. Man.
Yeah, no, it was before everybody started. I remember my mom taking me to the theater at 13. I don't even know how I got to see the movie, but it was called Good Guys Wear Black.
Okay.
And I remember watching Chuck Norris come through. He drop kicked and side kick, whatever you want to call it, and came through a windshield of a VW and took a dude out. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Dude came through the windshield and kicked him, and I was like, "That's the greatest thing ever." You know, there's another movie.
Keith says Walk Hard with John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Is one of his funniest
The
movies.
Dewey Cox story.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good one. There was a movie. What is it called? I'll think of it here in a second. With Chuck Norris, where he's against a serial killer.
Oh, yeah?
And you cannot kill this guy. He's like Jason on steroids, you know, this is before Jason even came to play, you know, and, man, I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, but me and my brother watched that movie a gazillion times, man, because it was just, you know, it was an unstoppable killer and Chuck Norris.
Right.
I mean, you know, even today, by meta terms, that sounds cool, you know, because Chuck Norris was just a badass then. Now,
I mean, think of all the Chuck Norris jokes. Silent Rage.
That's it. That's the
what you're
one.
talking
Silent Rage. Yeah. That's. I
Man,
saw
that
it,
is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that artwork.
I know. Look, it's terrible. I saw that on cable the other day, and I thought, I want to watch it, but my memories as a kid are so good. I know if I watch it, it's going to ruin it.
This
It's gonna-
sounds.
all the nostalgia will leave.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but that does look just the fact that anybody would watch that based on that cover.
Silent
tells you you're
Rage.
old.
Martial arts master versus superhuman killing machine.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was the thing.
Coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, no, that was what they come into a theater near you. Yeah, no, I love Chuck Norris in the day, and then you come to find out that he's, you know, like 5'6", 5'7",
Yeah.
that like Tom Cruise, you know, and they would lower the door frames on the set to make him look taller. Literally, they would lower
That
the door
doesn't
frames.
surprise me, man.
Yeah, that's the first time I went, oh, it's an illusion. Things are an illusion sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so disappointed.
That was your first, like.
That was my first awakening to
wow.
the illusion that can happen to you because he seemed like a big
Right,
guy. You
right.
know, you didn't think he was a little bitty dude. You know, he might be a
amazing
little
what
dude that'll whip your ass, but he was a little
I
dude,
mean,
you know.
I was gonna say, little or not, I
Yeah.
still don't want to walk in.
No, he was still a badass. I mean, he was like a 8 or 9 time, I think, karate or taekwondo champ, one of them.
Yeah, like
You know,
legit.
yeah. I mean, and you know that kind of fighting. I mean, not like he was an MMA guy.
No. He was
You know,
always
there's-
into the.
He was a
kickboxing,
talent
karate.
competition guy. He wasn't an MMA. He never had. I mean, he didn't do
I
real
didn't even know
fighting.
that MMA existed back then, really.
Oh, it didn't. No, it
Yeah.
didn't. But they would do tournament fights, but they weren't real.
No,
I
it was
mean,
break
nobody
the
was-
wood and
Nobody
see
gets
the
hurt. You
right,
get a point and you move on. you
right,
know.
right.
Unlike Karate Kid, where he broke the leg, you know, which probably was highly illegal and would be. Yeah, but anyway.
I still think Bloodsport.
Oh, with Van Damme.
With Van Damme. Now
Jean-Claude?
that's
a
a
badass movie.
That's an accurate
That-
representation of.
Is it?
I think so.
Is
I
it?
mean,
Yeah,
of the
no,
kickboxing and mixed martial arts scene.
Yeah, that was kind of the beginning of that. It started more with kickboxing.
Yeah.
And then it expanded to become MMA, I guess.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
but yeah, Jean-Claude was a.
I
he
mean,
was a
remember
good-
that? Yeah,
Oh,
there was a
hell
whole
yeah.
tournament out in,
he had some good movies. What was the one with he played a twin, double something.
Oh, double, yeah.
Then you had Universal Soldier was real big for him.
Yeah.
What else was big for him? Bloodsport. He had several big. Time Cop
Oh, yeah.
with Mia
yeah.
Sara, the chick from Ferris Bueller, who at that age I thought was one of the hottest chicks I'd ever seen.
Double Impact is
Double
the one you were
Impact,
talking
yeah.
about. Yep.
That's like early Steven Seagal was badass.
Yeah.
Like Mark for Death, Out for Blood. Those movies right there. when Steven Seagal was still on cocaine and beating his girl. He was a badass.
Before he became fat.
Yeah, no, he got fat and Russian, and now he sucks. You know, he's the slowest jiu-jitsu guy in the history of time. He might still whoop your ass every week, but he's going to do it slowly.
Little Doggy and Brandon say Bruce Lee beats out Chuck Norris.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruce Lee is the OG. I mean, there's no doubt that Bruce Lee was, at least from a choreography standpoint, one of the greatest ever. But beyond that, I mean, just his speed, his hand speed, was unbelievable. I mean, the whole 5-finger death punch, that comes from being able to be 5 inches back, just a short, and being able to hit so hard in such a small gap that it kills somebody.
Wow.
The impact.
That's right.
Yeah. Bruce Lee was, I mean, whether he was real or not real as a fighter, he was real as the most, he's either a fighter or the greatest stuntman maybe they ever lived. I mean, he was phenomenal. The dude can run up a wall. And come back. I mean, he did all the things that you just go, oh my God.
What about
that's why those movies, even when they're not in English, people still wanted to watch them
just to see the stuff that he would do. Yeah.
But you don't see, even in MMA, nobody fights like Bruce Lee.
No, of course not.
I mean, that's TV fighting, right? I mean, honestly.
You're not going to see somebody run up the side of the cage and do a backflip.
No, you just don't. Which is
it'd be cool though. Maybe they should start.
No, I don't know why more don't. Maybe because they're not real moves that work. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not sure the why of that, but and I would think if it worked really well, everybody would be doing it.
I mean, you would think, but hey.
I just watched a movie with. I was talking about Michael Jai White, and the name of it's All But Dead. And it was like a poor man's Karate Kid in a lot of ways.
Okay.
But he's helping this teen guy, this kid who's being bullied, and he's teaching him, the martial arts and everything, jiu-jitsu specifically. And I think this could be kind of a Bruce Lee type nod.
Okay.
But the stance that they would start in, and I was doing it all night at home yesterday.
Let's see it.
Tyler and Laura were like, why are you doing this? But he does this. Look, so it's like this. This is the stance right here.
Okay.
Starting stance. And from that, you could do all these different things,
Just from here.
From this, yeah.
That would be how you'd start off the fight.
That's how you start, yeah. And so it's defensive but offensive at the same time.
I guess so.
You have to watch it to see, but I was looking at it going, I don't know. Would that work or would that not? I'm not. Maybe it would.
Kind of reminds me of being a kid.
It looks like it works.
Doing this thing, and trying
it's like that, But I mean, he made it look like it works real well.
Joel says Michael Jai White was bomb and Never Back Down 2.
Yeah, he directed that one actually. I'm real weird like this. If I find an actor I like who maybe I've seen a few times but I don't know a lot about them, I'll go Wikipedia their ass and I'll read the whole book on them. And Michael Jai White was one of those, and that's he directed Never Back Down 2. Yeah, he directed it. I think he was a writer on it as well.
Little Doggy says you're talking about the 1-inch punch, and he'll be glad to show you in a wrestling ring anytime you're ready, man.
Mike, you get your ring up in your backyard. Okay, if you want to call me out, it's fine. I'll let you call me out.
I was gonna say I'm seeing,
but I need you to get your ring in your backyard because you're gonna have to listen. You're about the same age I am. Trust me. You ask my cracked ribs. You need to bone up. You need to be a little ready. Need to work on it, and then you can call me out if you think you can handle it.
He's been talking some smack the last couple days, man. I've been seeing a pattern go here.
I know what he wants here.
Yeah,
I get what he wants, and that's fine. But you're gonna have to get in line because Jimmy Buffet thinks he wants something too. He's not happy.
He's facing Logan for that championship at a Rude Awakening.
That's championship.
Yeah, that'll be the Logan wanted the championship. He called him out at the end of Arkan Brawl, and Jimmy accepted. There's a video that's going to be posted.
I didn't know that was going to be at
Rude Awakening.
March 1st. Well, then I'll be at Rude Awakening March 1st.
Yeah.
I'll be at Rude Awakening March 1st for sure now.
There you go. The belt is on the line.
No, I got to come.
And there's a video of him out there. I think it's getting ready to get posted later today from Jimmy. Where he was talking about this upcoming fight with Logan, and basically that, He said now that he's done, facing off something along the lines of fake celebrities. That he'll turn his attention to
I
Logan,
love that.
so.
No, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's. I
There's
appreciate
apparently
that.
still a little bit of. I don't
Yeah.
feel like everything was, even though you lost your ribs, I'm not sure everything was quite solved between you two. In that fight.
I mean, look, man. I mean, I in all honesty, I still got ripped. I was having my way. I was doing my thing. I won the match. I mean, look, because something falls on the ground, don't mean I did it. Did you see me do it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, hey, who brought it to the ring, man?
I don't know. I don't know who got there. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I was in a moment.
Took too many
I was
shots?
in a moment. Yeah, probably took too many shots. But yeah, no, I do want. Yeah, no, you're right. You took on the fake wrestler.
No, they're
the
saying
guy who didn't have experience wrestling. That's who you took on. So you can brag about that.
apparently you got some
needed-
support.
Now it looks like you got somebody to fight.
They're saying that should be your belt. You got cheated.
Yeah, I did.
Said you.
But I
beat
can't.
Jimmy fairly.
I
Come
can't-
on now.
I can't go. I can't go out there and support it. So I understand. But let's see what happens over the next.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens March 1st. Let's just see that. Yeah. The
Sounds
friend,
like we have some.
the friend of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh, common.
Right.
Yeah.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's how it works, baby.
Find out what happens.
Let's
March 1st, Rude Awakening.
Yeah, let's do this before we get out of here.
All right, man.
Because I do have.
We got it back.
That's right, baby. Feels good, don't it?
It does.
I know.
It's been a minute.
It has, man.
Listen up now, I'll tell you a story. Without a doubt, it's kinda gory. It's the worst news you could ever hear. Things just like this make you fear. Lying lunched on a dumb guy's knee, or a big hard rock drowning some money. Why you laughing? Why you laughing? This shit ain't funny.
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
This shit ain't
It's not funny.
I ain't even gonna lie, man. I find myself singing that little jingle at home all the time.
It's a
Especially
good
when
one.
the kiddo does something, I'll be walking around going, "This shit ain't funny."
Yeah, no, that's good. That's Luke for you. Luke did a great job. A violent vagrant with a string of a New York assault bust on his rap sheet finally behind bars after cops said he slashed a clerk at a Brooklyn discount store with a machete and tried to set him on fire. Why? Because he couldn't afford a stick of gum. Joaquin Hidalgo, 35, couldn't come up with the cash for the gum at the Brooklyn 2.99 store in Bushwick on Monday. So he pulled out a machete, threatened the worker, slashed one, doused him in lighter fluid.
Wow.
Before setting a flag on fire as he fled. When cops caught up with Hidalgo, who was on the street despite open cases in Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Staten Island, the career criminal finally was ordered to be held on bond. So all these things he hadn't been held on bond for, he finally
setting somebody on
and
fire.
light them
And
on fire. That'll do it.
that was the one where they're like, "All right, you
Yeah.
crossed the line."
He had remained free without bail until now, despite the string of arrests. So he had a $25,000 cash bail or a $50,000 bond. So what is that? $5,000 you'd have to put up.
So this is something. I thought it was just a random one. I was gonna say, man, what a bad, how pissed off do you have to be that the gum is what sets you over the edge,
Right,
where
no,
you're just
that's-
like, no, I'm gonna set this person on
It's a little
fire.
much, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hey, look, I'm getting an advertisement for what? What's that? You see it?
CPAP.
Yeah, all I did was say it.
Hey.
Didn't look it up.
They're always watching.
Yeah. Okay, so this is crazy, man. A video shows a wealthy California businesswoman, broad daylight, being chased around her car and gunned down in a parking lot in what cops call a murder for hire scheme, orchestrated by her estranged husband as part of a contentious divorce. Her name, Jessica Torres, 44, seen in the video being ambushed and mercilessly fatally shot outside a San Bernardino restaurant January 10th. Detective Dominic Martinez said definitely a murder for hire case, linking it to her divorce from Sergio Reveles and their fight for millions of dollars in assets. The footage shows the gunman, identified as Geraldo Lamas Torres, jumping out of an SUV, approaching Torres as she gets in her Mercedes G-Wagon. The unnamed woman seen trying to fight back. A Good Samaritan races to help, just to run off in terror as the gunman opens fire. So the Good Samaritan came to help, but when the dude started shooting, he took off. Not a Good Samaritan, I guess. Still a Good Samaritan, but I guess he's alive. Tourist races around her vehicle. She tries to flee, and then she gets shot the first time, and then of course, you know what happens.
Wow.
She slowed down, and he shot her again, and that was the fatal wound. All on camera, broad daylight.
Wow.
I mean, look, hits happen. Don't do hits in the day. Hits are supposed to happen at night,
Right.
cover where you can't be seen or caught. Don't you know that? Isn't that the first rule of a hit?
Isn't that like
second rule? Don't do it yourself, and don't do it in the day.
Right. Well, you know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's
I
just
think it'd be the first couple chapters of the how to order a hit for dummies.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's right. Hitman for Dummies. That's right. I got that book.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
do you one more here that I think is definitely worthwhile. A theme park in Indonesia had a crocodile staying there after it was saved from a flood last week. That's great. Right?
Oh.
People were visiting the park and making offers to the lucky crocodile, which most visitors assumed must be tame.
Yeah.
Well, again, he
That
was
is.
saved from a flood. He's a crocodile.
And now we're going to put him in front of people and parade him
that's
around.
cool. It's cool. You know,
Sounds like a great idea.
I think it's a perfect idea. Again, this is how we thin the herd.
Right.
This is how it's done. It wasn't tamed, by the way. An elderly man reached out to offer the reptile some food, and it grabbed his arm and pulled him in.
You are the food.
You are the food, sir. You look like beef jerky. You're 70. After being thrashed around in the water, the beef jerky 70-year-old man was rescued and left with a pretty damaged arm, as you might expect. The park, which includes many windmills, dairy animals, and farming exhibitions, no longer includes a crocodile. After the attack, they surrendered it to authorities to be released back into the wild where it belongs. Yeah, no, we've got to.
And this is where the you didn't think this out comes into play. Like,
No, I mean, it's great. No.
oh, we're doing something great for the
He's
environment.
just
We're
living
rescuing,
in a little pond here at the park. He got
Right.
from the flood, and hey, he seems nice enough. He hadn't bothered anybody.
I think everybody forgot that rule. You know, if it's not bothering you, just leave it the freak alone.
All right, I do have to. This one's crazy.
Okay.
So I do have one more.
All right, let's hear it.
Now, look, tell me, factually speaking,
Yeah.
at 14, I'm going to say, I'm not even going to say
rough.
13. I'm going to go 14. 14, 15.
That's where I hit
Probably
my
the worst
crazy
you'll
stage.
ever be.
Oh yeah, that's where I hit my crazy
right,
stage.
Right, where your hormones are so overwhelming, your brain doesn't function properly.
Oh,
You
not
do
at all.
shit that I swear to God, there are things I'll never say at 14, 15 maybe that I did that I still don't understand why.
Right.
I know I did them. I don't know why. Because I was insane.
All right.
You know, here's one. You got to keep an eye out for danger when you're raising a teenager. Injecting butterflies hasn't been on the list until now. A 14-year-old boy in Brazil started throwing up and limping, told his dad he had hurt himself playing. As he got worse, he finally confessed he had mixed a dead butterfly in water and injected it into his leg.
A butterfly?
A dead butterfly in water and injected it into his leg.
Why?
Because he's
Who
14.
thought this was a great? I mean, I
He's
get that,
14.
but
Maybe he thought he'd fly. He's
Dude,
Peter
yeah.
Parker. He was going to be the butterfly instead of the Spider-Man. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know why. He was admitted to the hospital, transferred to a larger facility where he lost his battle.
he died.
Yes. Yeah, they think he could have been taking part in a social media challenge, but I haven't heard of anything like that. And that I don't even know if.
Look, I've seen
the butter-
eating Tide Pods, snorting condoms.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're injecting.
Don't forget the milk crate challenge where you risk breaking your neck. That was a great one.
Oh, I must have missed that
Yeah,
one.
that was one too.
I must have slept through that challenge. Yeah.
But
Now inject yourself with a butterfly.
I don't know.
He didn't die. He just went into his cocoon.
Oh yeah, he'll be back. That's a good line, bro. That's a quality line. I think I don't know if medically speaking, if A, the butterfly was toxic somehow, or B, if the pieces were so big that they clogged an artery.
Oh.
because I
Could be
could
true.
see that.
I could see that happening.
If you had an artery clog up, especially if you get close to the heart, might cause a heart attack. But I don't know if butterfly guts by nature have, if they're poison or
Right.
something the body can't process. Something. I mean, it's either chemical or it's a blockage.
Linked to, I just found a different version of the
Okay.
story, but yeah, from February 19th.
Yeah.
Get out
Yeah.
of here. I don't care.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're putting it through a syringe, it can't be too big.
Right. Well, I
But
mean,
I
he
don't
mixed
know
it
what
with
size-
water.
I don't know what size syringe he used either. Because I know the one that they used to lance my knee and drain it was massive.
Yeah.
But the one that they used to give me a shot for, if I were going to get a steroid shot, it'd be teeny tiny needle.
An infection or allergic reaction. So, yeah.
That's wild. That it-
Embolism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, an embolism. Yeah, I
Yep.
can see that. Well, there you go. Don't tell your kids don't shoot up butterflies.
Well.
That's the news of the day. Don't shoot up butterflies.
Just say no to butterflies.
Say no to shooting up butterflies. Listen, we thank you. We appreciate you a great deal. Our guest, sorry they couldn't be in today. We had to reschedule just in case of the weather, but we've got some great guests coming up for you. And as always,
Come
thank
check
you
us
for
out.
coming in.
Absolutely. Come check out Blazing and Hazen.
When is that?
TNR. That's this Saturday
This Saturday,
Yep.
Blazing and Hazen. Where is it located?
at the Hazen Community Center.
At the Hazen Community Center, Blazing and Hazen. That's this Saturday,
You
right?
got it. Yep.
All right,
And next
so-
Saturday,
Get you some of that if you're looking for it. Following Saturday, be back here.
Rude Awakening.
At Rude Awakening, I'll be here at the Legion Scaffold Broadcast Studio Center.
There you go.
And otherwise, hey, thank you guys for everything. We appreciate you. You continue to make it the best in the world. Just keep sharing it.
Thanks for braving the roads and getting in
Hell
here so we
yeah,
can have a
man.
show today, man. We
yeah.
knocked it out. I
We
think
did.
so.
We did it, baby. We did it. We'll see you next time.